To lead the Skol chant and sound the Yaller horn, please welcome the 31st Adjutant General of the Minnesota National Guard, Major General John Jensen.
Well, hello, this is John Randall, Minnesota Vikings legend, and it is my pleasure to say, Minnesota Vikings fans uncensored, are you ready? Keith, get your people up. Let's go. Skol, 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 baby. Let's go.
Hello, Vikings fans. Welcome to the Let's Go Show. I'm Fish. With me, I've got Mr. Positivity, Cody Bowden. He who greets with smoke, Skolful Shack, will be joining us momentarily. Keith's in the background doing his Keith stuff, getting this thing kicked off. Welcome to our 24th off-season show of the year. We'll be here every week during the off-season. You know we're going to get through this abyss together. 21st. So tonight we've got some Skol news. We're 74 days away from the Vikings opening game. We got our official initial 53-man prediction. Cody calls it Around the Gallahorn and Hot Takes. We're also going to have the lines open all show for those who want to come on and give us some takes. But first, let's start out with something fun. Cody, name a forgotten Minnesota Viking that deserves a shout out.
So, and it's funny because we're trying to build, came up with an all-century top or initial 53-man roster for this Vikings team. And there's a guy I kept looking up, and I got dug even deeper what he's did in his career, and it's a lineman named Tim Irwin. Right? He was left tackle. He took over for the great Ron Yeri, and he's kind of overshadowed on that Vikings offensive line because we had guys like, hey, sorry guys, my kids are talking during the podcast. I gotta make this real quick. But he's kind of overshadowed by the greats that we had on the offensive line during that time period when he was there with Randall McDaniel and Gary Zimmerman, right? So when he entered, he played 12 straight seasons without a single start, right? And he was even asked to be put on the field goal team to where he's blocking field goal kicks. He blocked 10 of them in his career, which is third behind Matt Blair and then, of course, Alan Page's 27 blocked field goals. It's just crazy that the guy never was even mentioned in a Pro Bowl vote. Right? I think it's because of what our offensive line had. Never missed a start. He should have been a Pro Bowler, and those 10 blocked field goals as an offensive tackle is just crazy to me.
Damn, that might be the craziest stat we hear tonight. That our offensive tackle had 10 block kicks. I had no idea. I know the name Tim Irwin. No idea that he was blocking kicks like that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's fascinating.
Got somebody, Shaq, a forgotten unsung hero?
I'm not going to dive too far back like Cody did. I'm going to stick within my time period. And I'm going to go with a player we talked about recently before. Sidney Rice, the unsung hero of that 2009 offense, along with Brett Favre and AP. When you look back at it, Sidney Rice actually showed why he was highly touted coming out of college, even though he was a second rounder and he dealt with a lot of injuries. It was his third year, I believe, with us when we got Brett Favre, and he showed that he could be an elite receiver in the league. With 83 receptions, 1,312 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Yeah, we have Justin Jefferson, Diggs, and Thielen who be blowing those numbers out the water. But back during that time period when we was a run-heavy team, Sidney Rice stepped up and showed he was a good receiver. It's just unfortunate that his career didn't last long enough with us. But he eventually did get a Super Bowl ring.
He did. I think sometimes Sidney Rice actually gets a bum deal because they're like, oh, well, Brett Favre made him. But that's not the case. If you go back and watch him with some of the mediocre quarterbacks we had, yeah, the stats weren't as great because he didn't have a quarterback like Brett Favre. But if he would have just had a decent quarterback, he showed what he could do. Like we talked about Shaq, he was great at high point in that ball when it got thrown up and he was one-on-one with the cornerback. He can go up there and get it. He ran good routes. Injuries is what got him. Like I have no doubt he would have thrived in Seattle, but he had the injuries, but he did get a Super Bowl.
Yes, Sidney Rice was like he wasn't even the best receiver on the field during those times, right? But he overplayed and was the best receiver on the field when he's going up against Percy Harvin.
Who you got, Keith?
So I'm gonna kind of take two of them because one of them maybe isn't so forgotten, but he was one of my favorite players, but he never really got like the big fanfare where maybe no one really knew of him outside of Viking fans, and that's Robert Griffith. And I always loved defensive backs, and he was also number 24, so that kind of drew me into him at first. But he started 88 games for us as a Viking from 94 to 01. He made the second team All-Pro Bowl twice. Second team All-Pro twice, one Pro Bowl, 17 interceptions for the Vikings, which is 14th most all time. He was a hard physical player. Like he's one of those guys that wherever the play was, so was he. He always was in the 90 to 100 tackle range. He had 8 sacks as a safety. He had great instincts. He was also like a locker room leader. And he was one of the Vikings that was the top 50 players. Even though his name isn't one that gets brought up often, the team does recognize him as one of the greats for the team. And I think maybe casually people might not know how good Robert Griffith was. Mm-hmm. The other one I have is a little lesser known unless you were really following the team back in the early 2000s, and that's Kelly Campbell. Now, Kelly Campbell was a wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4, but he was a speedster and just a big play waiting to happen. And he was another guy that wasn't drafted. He was an undrafted free agent. He only had 57 catches over his career, but 48 of them went for either a first down or a touchdown. He averaged 18 yards a catch on those 57 catches, including 20 yards per catch in 2003, 19 in 2004. So again, this guy, like every time he caught the ball, it was like 15, 20 yards or more. Big passes from Dante Culpepper down the field. You would think the ball is going deep down to Moss. No, it's going to Kelly Campbell. And it's just a shame that he didn't have a longer career, due to injury, but also he had some issues with the law, which is what ultimately got him cut from the Vikings. He got a chance to play, I think, with the Dolphins later on, but it just didn't work out. So, he got cut short. But, man, those 3 years that he played, he was like dynamite.
All right, so my guy is forgotten because of time. And Cody actually mentioned his name, and that's Matt Blair. And when you think about it, Matt Blair played for 12 years from us from 74 to 85. And you think about the 70s. When we talk about the 70s Vikings, who are we talking about? Pro Bowl people eaters, Fran Tarkenton. And then when you go into the 80s, who are we talking about? Scott Studwell, Keith Millard, Chris Dolman, Randall McDaniel. Nobody ever talks about Matt Blair, ever. Mm-hmm. Nobody ever brings him up. Well, all Matt Blair did was play 12 years for us, and in the middle 6, from 77 to 82, that man went to 6 straight Pro Bowls, and in 80, he was All-Pro 1 at his position. Dude was a stud. Just don't nobody know his name. And now you do.
I think arguably Matt Blair is the best linebacker in Minnesota Vikings history.
Oof.
I think he's you name them linebackers. You got him, Studwell, Jack Del Rio for a little bit, Chad Greenway, Eric Kendricks, Anthony Barr, Roy Winston, and some Hilgenberg or some shit like that. Like those are our top 10 linebackers in Vikings history, and he's right up there as the number 1.
I mean, he probably got to be up there, but I don't know if anybody's going to put anybody above Studwell.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. Blair's always been overshadowed.
Mm-hmm.
so nobody ever talks about him, even though he was.
Well,
a
you're
part
right. He
of
does
some of
have
the
he does
greatest
have good
defenses.
accolades. He does have good accolades. 6 Pro Bowls and, like you said, the All Pro.
Yeah, Fred McNeil is another one of those names too out there.
This is good. Like I like when we just like bringing up old names and stuff because it makes you reminisce a little bit and think about the game back in those days. You know, unless you're bringing up like Matt Blair or someone that I wasn't around for, but still good to know. Still good to know our history.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit more of our history is we are 74 days away from our first game of the year. So, like we always do at this time, we look at players who have worn that number. It's a long list, all the way back to the
Surprisingly so.
60s.
I see my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh
I
man,
call that one out, right?
I remember Brian Habib.
Oh man,
There's the greatest offensive tackle in Vikings history on there, right? I can see
Mike
it. Right?
Remmers.
Well, that's why his picture's there. Did that
I
for
thought you were talking
Shaq.
about Mike Remmers.
What's up, Larry?
oh,
What's up, rock and roll? Tommy, what's up? Aaron, Bob, sorry we didn't get the shout outs. Anthony, what's going on? So, number 74, like I said, there's a pretty long lineage of it. The thing that got me was looking at two of these guys, Dave O'Brien and Steve Smith. I've never heard their name in my life, but you see, they went, both ways, offensive tackle and defensive ends.
Mm.
That's
They were doing it
before any
before
of
it was
our
cool.
times.
They were doing it before it was cool to do it. But obviously, the biggest name on here, Oli Udo. I don't know why we ever let him go.
It's unfortunate how his career ended with us.
It is. Wasn't it with the injury?
I think so. He tried, though. He tried. I think it was against
Larry, we can read you. What's up, Larry? Skol.
I think it was in the game with the Eagles, and he just got sideswiped or something. I can't.
I think you're right. I think you're right, and that was the end of a great career. Okay, Larry, you have a good night too. Thanks for checking in. So,
all right, Larry.
To me, I think the biggest name on here is Bryant McKinnie. Am I wrong?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, it's McKinney.
Oh, the guy that could have been good for us. Instead, he had to move to be good somewhere else.
I think he was good for us. I mean, it took a while to replace him as well. He did play 9 seasons with us, and he ended up getting cut because he had some off the field issues. But then he also showed up to training camp way overweight, and they just cut him. Like, we didn't get anything for him. They didn't trade him. He went on to play for Baltimore, where I think he ended up winning a Super Bowl with them. But it's funny how that freaking happens.
And he got an All-Pro now too, I'm pretty sure.
But I do think he was a very good Viking. He did have some off the field stuff. Most famously, I think he was like one of the heads of the Love Boat.
You say that like it's a negative thing.
Oh, I'm not saying it's negative. I'm not saying it's positive. I'm just saying it's a thing.
It shows he's a community guy,
Somebody
He's a community guy.
Somebody got to steer the ship.
A team builder.
Organizational.
You got to appreciate that. But he's definitely been one of the top linemen for the Vikings over the past 25 years. When we do that quarter century Vikings 53-man roster, not going to be surprised to see Bryant McKinnie on there.
Yeah, he's not on my list.
Let me tell you something. When we do that list,
on your list either.
When we do that list, can you imagine how hard it's going to be for us to cut edge rushers with all the great edge rushers we've had?
Yeah. That's what's going to make it fun, though. And then we'll have to have a snub list that we'll go over.
Our quarter century list. Sorry, my bad.
Ooh. Shout out to you, Roddy.
Yeah,
Roddy,
thanks for the
thank you.
super chat, buddy.
Ooh,
so when we get the super chat, we gotta address it.
What have the Lions done to address their defense?
I mean, they lost a couple players, and they're gonna get Aiden Hutchinson back, but we don't know what he's gonna be when he comes back. I think the Lions still might have a better secondary than us right now until we actually see Isaiah Rodgers, ball out for us. So I might give him that. But I think other than that, it's the Vikings, man. I really do believe that. I'm not just saying that because I'm a homer. Our defensive line was kind of weak last year. I think we did a lot to address that and improve it. I like our linebackers. So like those first two levels, I think we got them beat there. And then I do think the Lions have the better secondary. But overall, I'm rolling with the Vikings. You agree, Cody?
Yeah, so I think it's by a slim margin, though. And like we look on paper, the Vikings looks like they have the better defense on paper, right? But when you look how they play, the Lions play very well, good defense, and it's without the star-studded names out there, right? They got Aiden Hutchinson, and then like Brian Branch. And then other than that, it's just a bunch of guys like Rodriguez that we've been hearing off when they're on their off-season movie or TV series on HBO. They play with like physicality and like what they call as a grid over there for the Lions, right? And I think it's a slim margin between us and the Lions. Ours is mostly on paper, right? And the Lions is actually, you've seen it happen in real life.
I'm going to disagree with Cody.
Oh, okay.
It is not a slim margin.
Oh.
We're top 15, they're bottom 10.
Damn. Really?
Yeah. That's kind of what happens when you lose your defensive coordinator and your offensive coordinator, and you're not playing from so far ahead that teams have to be one-dimensional that you can just play against that. When they have to play against more balanced offenses that are going to run all over them, then yeah, they're going to be bottom 10. They're going to they're going to show who we thought they are.
I thought we were going to be a top 10 defense last year too. That didn't happen.
I said top 15, Cody. I'm not as aggressive as you about that.
I think we're going to be top 10 this season.
I think so.
See, Cody, I hope you learned you have to define what top 10 means.
Oh, it's always going to be points. It's the easiest thing to do.
But sometimes when you make a bet, you got to make that clear.
Yeah, well, he's got to make the clear because he made the bet.
That's true.
Roddy, you asked the question. What defense do you think is better, the Vikings or the Lions?
Shit.
Do you remember Brian McKinney playing fish?
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, he was great, dude. Wasn't he on the? He was on the left side, or was that Load Holt when Stringer died?
I think it was Load Holt.
Yeah, and then didn't Brian McKinney take? He took over on the left side, right?
Wait.
You're
not talking about Phil Load Holt, right? Talking about
Phil Load Holt.
I think Phil Load Holt came a little after.
Okay.
Who was our left tackle?
I'm getting these guys crossed up. I remember doing the whole thing about when Stringer died and the other guy got McKinney was Stringer left side or right side? Now I'm getting crossed up.
Brian McKinney, he was on the left side.
Yeah.
He probably played both because I remember him being only one of the bright spots on the tackle spots. And then we had,
we had Brian McKinney and Phil Load Holt for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
That was with Favre, I think.
Yeah, 2009, 2010. So that's what you're thinking of, Fish.
Yep.
We also had Steve Hutchinson and Anthony Herrera when Anthony Herrera was actually playing really good. John Sullivan at center. We had a pretty damn good line in 2009.
Yeah, we bring it up. Cody likes to bring it up. We always had that one weakness, Anthony Herrera.
Yeah, it's like after that, when Steve Hutchinson left, our interior offensive line has been garbage, and we finally addressed it.
I saw Brock Lesnar play for us, but he only played for us during preseason. You know that, right, Aaron? Like, he didn't make the squad. I think that was a more publicity thing than anything else. Probably sold a lot of 69 jerseys, too.
Nice.
This is the other number 74 that I think might be the biggest on that list. Would you not agree with that, Fish?
Can't see him.
You can't. Oh, you don't see it?
Oh, yeah. Well, hold on. Let me reach for the button so I can see it better. I gotta max out the screen. Reach.
He's a pretty big dude.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so you got to reach to get your arms around his waist. You got to really reach because he's a big dude.
He is a big dude, and
Can't wait till
expected to be
Fish
yeah, I can't wait either. And we're gonna find out fast because he's expected to be a day one starter.
and we're gonna be like,
What's up,
no,
Angel Dust?
you can't like the guy. You know, you cannot.
No, we'll welcome Fish aboard. When he flip flops like a fish out of water, we'll bring him aboard. Fish out of water. That's a segment.
Hold on.
Okay,
I
yeah,
need to reach for my drink so I can drink to that. Let me reach.
Took me a minute, but I got it now. You're saying the Vikings reach for our future All Pro.
Woo. You were
So
fast
Fish, are
when
you
were drinking.
really still on that, or is it just like a bit now?
Yeah, we reached for him.
I don't see how we did.
Like I said before, he's going to have to make me look like an idiot.
The draft wasn't even that good this year. There's no reaching.
Which really says something for the fact that we reached for somebody in a draft that wasn't that good.
You just pick a player at that after pick 11. You just pick a player.
Okay, after pick 11, there was a top 5 prospect still on the board, Cody.
Yeah,
And we're going to see him. We're going to play against him. You're going to see him. You're going to hear me talk all about him if he gets a pick. Don't worry about it.
Go be a Ravens fan.
Oh wow! Welcome back to MVFU, Cody Bowden.
I don't. He's not a top 5 prospect. Wasn't even close to me.
Nick, I don't think Fish does realize that.
No, wait, hold on. I don't care. I would have rather the Texans got him. Hell, I would have rather taken the Georgia kid that the Lions actually got. Imagine how screwed the Lions would be right now.
I think they're pretty screwed.
And I think they'd be even more screwed if they didn't have that kid they drafted.
Well, Radledge isn't technically a center, so I think they're still screwed. He's a guard.
Yeah, I know. He's a guard.
We got a day one starter. Like, that's all you could ask for in the first round.
Out of necessity. And
who also played.
Yes, we filled a need. You're absolutely right. Out of necessity, and we went out and got a day one starter, which was their guy.
Which
maybe not our big board, but that was their guy, and they got him.
Like we were just talking about, this is the first time ever where we're probably not going to argue about any player on the 53-man initial roster because it's like who cares? The team's set. So Donovan Jackson, day one starter.
Do you guys remember when
the chat that
we
agrees with Fish? Like they're still not happy about the Donovan Jackson pick.
Does anybody remember back when we were having the talk about drafting for need versus best player available? Remember how Cody was telling you how stupid you had to be to draft for need, that you just went best player available?
And he was the best player.
I don't know. How do you know that? How you know that we didn't get
that? He's the best player available.
I mean, I guess you were high on Malachi Starks, but I don't think any of us were.
I'll tell you how low you all were on Jackson. Let's roll the tape on that shit.
Yeah, I wanted sexy. Lyman's not sexy. And that took about 5 minutes to get over.
When we were going over offensive guards, oh, he's just a guy. Oh, I'm getting Wyatt Davis vibes. Oh, I'm getting Dakota.
That guy's not here anymore. The guy was saying that's not here anymore.
Weren't all those guards selected like that were supposed to be in the first round before we came to the pick of Donovan Jackson?
Looks like Cody's talking into Timmy's mic.
Yeah. So the guards that we picked up, the guards we talked about during that offseason program, weren't they picked up before Donovan Jackson?
Okay. There's a whole reason why you don't reach, Cody.
Best player available.
There's a whole reason why you don't do it. I mean, best player available. Oh, I'm sorry, Cody. Is this like your bet about best defense where now you're like Yeah, best player available by position of need, Fish. Come on
there's
now.
no bet. If you're better, right? You're Vegas. You're putting a line out. Best top 10 defense, and that's all I see is top 10 defense. Hell yeah, I'm gonna take a bet. I will take that bet with Vegas because Vegas didn't initiate what's the circumstances. That's why you don't see best defenses in Vegas. It's best points per game, or it's best total yards, or it's whatever like that. You gotta learn how to bet.
Okay. What does that have to do with what I said where you're suddenly setting parameters? You went from being
I didn't say
best player available now to best player available, but it's got to be that position in need because we needed a guard.
It wasn't. No, that's not. What words did I say that, Fish?
Just now.
It's denial is not just a river in Egypt. You're going
okay. You realize you're the one in denial. I'm restating shit you said. I'm restating stuff that's actually come out of your mouth.
No, you're just in a corner right now with three people. You're actually in the corner. The three people going against you.
I've got my left up for the later rounds, Cody. I can do this all day long, baby.
Well, I bet you could.
I'm just saying, you have said best player available, and you'd be stupid to go by position of need. That's
the best
how
player
GMs
available
lose their job.
There. That's Donovan Jackson. Malachi.
You're only saying that now because we drafted him. You're only saying that now because we drafted him. You're only defending the draft pick. He was not the best player on the board.
I am not defending the draft.
I think the best player available was probably the cornerback from Michigan. I forgot his name.
No, I don't even think
Johnson. But he went to like the second round.
Yeah.
He had injuries. So there's a reason every single team passed on him. Every single team passed on him.
Uh-huh.
There's a reason why every single team.
Whereas Donovan Jackson would have went the next pick if we didn't take him.
And?
So best player available.
Yeah.
You got that left down real quick.
Oh no.
But you better put it back up.
It reminds me of that revolving door.
Y'all are trying to do some damn. Y'all realize jiu-jitsu doesn't work, guys, in a fight, and y'all are trying some damn mental jiu-jitsu with this pick right now. He was not the damn best player available. He was a late second round projected. There were a lot of better players on the board than him. We drafted for need. And y'all
on whose board? On whose board?
Okay, we're not privy to the Vikings board. They went after a position of need.
And you think their board might have came off of their positions of needs?
I think that we both saw that same video, and Donovan Jackson's name wasn't mentioned until after the Green Bay pick made their selection. So, no, he was not their guy the whole time.
Who? We're not talking about Green Bay. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
We watched the video behind the scenes in the draft war room.
Yeah, Donovan Jackson was the guy.
Don
was really stated.
Cody, you know as much about Donovan Jackson was the guy as I know about how he was in the board on their big board. You don't know that. They're just saying it now because they picked him.
Okay, then we can. Okay, we'll talk about. Then we'll go back to last year's draft behind the scenes. I don't give. So KOC was pulling the strings the whole time, then, right? Now, Kwesi, because they just want you to show you what they want to show you, right?
We actually saw Kwesi make phone calls and come to him and say, "I did this." We
saw them want Donovan Jackson too.
After a certain period of time, and you guys are like, "Oh, he's the guy. He was the guy. He was the guy the whole time." No, he wasn't.
So, what did you see before that led you to believe there was somebody else?
Yeah.
Not his name being mentioned.
But what did you see, period?
Well, of course they're not going to show us all. Yeah, we're looking at this.
Look at this mental jiu-jitsu. Anyways, I can't wait. Like this is awesome. Like this is what we're gonna be looking forward to. Week 1 is the left guard.
Yeah.
This is what we'll be arguing about every week. And
he's gonna play great. And he's gonna miss one block, and I'm gonna be like,
"See, told you.
I'm reaching. I'm reaching, just like the Vikings did."
Yeah, I know Malcolm Starks didn't get on the field yet, but he would have been the better pick because he went off sides one time.
What size jersey you wear, Fish?
2X now.
Okay.
And I'll
We'll
wear
see.
it with pride.
We'll see him at
I'll
Skol
wear
Fest.
it with pride. In Minnesota, I'll be like, that's right. Donovan
That's my
Jackson.
Yeah, I don't think Tommy's big on the Donovan Jackson either. So, like, when you're in agreement with Tommy,
Those Kentucky boys got to stick together.
yeah, right or wrong, right?
Oh, damn.
Roddy. I think
Roddy's
we've
got
got
another
us
one.
a Lions fan here.
He said the Vikings defense.
Oh, he did? Okay.
He did.
I didn't see it. I apologize. I didn't mean to insult you like that.
Go for it, Cody. Because you're actually not a big Jordan Addison fan. So
I'm not a big Jordan Addison fan, but I will say Jordan Addison is the best all-around wide receiver. Unlike Jameson, or JMO, he hasn't hit 1,000 yards receiving yet either, right? Both first round picks, correct? So,
yep.
Jameson, he's proven he's hit 1,000 yards. It took him a little bit to get there, but you can see Jordan Addison's development as he's going through. He's going to eventually hit that 1,000 yards. I think the better route runner, the better hands is with Jordan Addison. Jameson, I feel like he's a 9-route guy, right? You just let him go straight, burn over the top of the defense, and you throw it deep. And it's exciting. We watched Randy Moss do it for numbers of years for us, right? And then Randy Moss kind of developed into like this all-around wide receiver that was just throw up the jump ball and all that crazy stuff. I think Jordan Addison is the better wide receiver, but I think Jameson Williams, as of right now, is the better deep threat wide receiver, if that kind of makes sense.
Right. I think Addison's the better wide receiver. I'd rather have Jordan Addison, but Jameson Williams, like, I'm not going to take anything away from him. He's one of those guys that refer to, he's a weapon. You know, there's things that he does, and you could deploy that weapon, and he could hurt you from, pretty much anywhere on the field. But as far as like putting a team together and sustaining drives and consistency, I'm going to take Jordan Addison all day.
Yeah, Jameson Williams, Will Fuller, or David Boston. If you remember David Boston from Miami.
David Boston was good for a period.
Mm-hmm. Just that.
I think he got off steroids.
Yeah.
What do you think, Shaq?
I have to go with Jordan Addison only because he's more of a receiver than JMO. And like, if we had a better quarterback, hopefully with JJ McCarthy, who has great timing when a receiver breaks out his route, then you will see Jordan Addison always getting the ball. Because the issue with Jordan Addison is he's a timing receiver, meaning he has to be, him and the quarterback has to be on the same page the whole route in order for Jordan Addison to get the ball. Because Jordan Addison will make a quick cut and then he's going to look at the quarterback. But the quarterback don't throw him the ball. It's basically a wasted route. The thing I do give Jameson Williams, like Cody was mentioning, is you can't teach speed. And I feel like he's more elusive and he's faster than Jordan Addison. So, what makes it tough is not JJ McCarthy, Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison are basically like the same mold of receiver. And I would prefer to have a deep threat with Justin Jefferson, because then now that allows Justin Jefferson to be, all over the field, and then they got to worry about the speed deep. But don't sleep on Jordan Addison's deep threat ability. I feel like he's just unlocking it. He just don't got the speed that you want to see.
I agree. That's we've said it over and over before that. How many times did we see Jordan Addison open where Darnold didn't even look his way the whole time? Like, he was just eyeballing JJ, and that's where he was going to go with the ball. And, the position Sam Darnold was in was probably the smart thing to do, because he was just trying to increase his stock. And, going to JJ is probably a great way of doing that. But a quarterback that's able to actually see the field and go through his reads, I think Addison is going to benefit off of that. And once he's done being suspended, I think he will benefit off that with JJ McCarthy. Would you agree, Michael Fish?
Shaq kind of dipped his toe in the water, but I'm gonna cannonball this shit. I'm gonna answer this from the angle of who would I rather see in this offense as we are currently rostered. And as much as I hate to say it, I'm going with Jamison Williams. Because Naylor has speed, can take the top off, but we have a fantastic, one of the best possession receivers out there. He's great at running routes. He's great at getting open. We need somebody who could literally scare the defense off of him. Addison's a really good wide receiver, and probably as a wide receiver is probably all around better than JMO. But I'm taking it from who would I rather see in the offense, and I wouldn't mind giving that speed demon a try.
Well, Fish, I think it's getting late for you if you got to go.
I mean, if you put Jamison Williams on any other team that does not have Amon-Ra St. Brown, I don't think he does well at all. Because Amon-Ra runs these slant routes, and he's a true slot wide receiver. He brings safeties and corners down, right? When you start bringing those safeties and corners down to stop those short, intermediate routes, you're going to have that burner open majority of the time. And then if he's on a different team, he's just another Will Fuller.
All right, Roddy. Hope we answered your question. Thank you for the super chat. We do got a little bit of Skol news, which I'm thankful for. Anytime a little piece of news comes out during this time of year, so we got something to talk about, and that is we got Josh Oliver's contract details, and he signed a 3-year deal. It's $23 million with a $7.7 million signing bonus. He gets $19.7 guaranteed, and without getting too much into the weeds of this thing. Next year, he's a $4.3 million cap hit. 2026, $10 million. 2027, $10 million. 2028, $10 million. Now, 27 and 28, there are ways they can get out of the contract by taking a little bit of a cap hit. So pretty much he's guaranteed to be here for the next 2 seasons and possibly the next 4 seasons. Now, the interesting part about this is, you heard, I said he's only a $4.3 million cap hit this year. He was scheduled to be over a $9 million cap hit in 2025. So with this contract extension, the Vikings saved $5 million this year, and they already had around $19 million. They're now at $24 million heading into training camp. They didn't have to do that. They could have gone ahead and gave him his $9 million. They could have afforded it. I'm feeling like they might have did this for a reason. Is there a move coming, guys?
I think there's a move coming. I think there might be a couple of moves coming. I just don't think it's going to be the big move we all want.
You mean they're going to trade for Kirk Cousins to be the backup quarterback?
I mean, that's a possibility. I mean, there's that, and there could be a couple of players that we will trade for that aren't big names, and it could be at that same position, like the cornerback position. We might get a couple guys that are worth around that $4 million a year, and we'll grab 2 of those guys instead of grabbing the one Jalen Ramsey that we all want.
You don't think that maybe they're trying to create the money to get a Jalen Ramsey? Because they could do it now and still have something left over for, injuries.
Yeah, that's. I just don't. I don't see it right now. I think the cornerback room is kind of it's kind of weak. And I think they want to add more. They want to add more offensive linemen than we already have to replace like Blake Brandel. That's going to be probably leaving, and to figure out, do we want to have Walter Rouse in there, as our backup or as our swing tackle? Because I figure right now we still need a swing tackle on this team.
It feels a lot like win now mode to me.
It does to me too. Wouldn't that be a move like Jalen Ramsey, not a backup offensive lineman?
It feels like a move for somebody good. Where are we at our weakest at?
Corner.
I still think it's corner. Maybe there's been rumors that maybe the team doesn't feel that way, but you bring in Jalen Ramsey. Now you got Jalen Ramsey and Isaiah Rodgers on the outside, and you put Byron Murphy at the slot, or his natural position. I'm feeling a lot better about our cornerbacks all of a sudden.
I feel a lot better about it too. How old is Jalen now?
29.
Yeah, I think I would say 29.
Oh, he's not over 30. I'm out. He ain't part of this defense.
He might turn 30 during the season. Hold on.
Okay.
Wait, he is 30.
Okay, I'm in. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Get it. Let's get him. Wait, did he have an injury
What's
last
up,
year,
E?
Shaq?
He had 94, baby.
The only thing that's working against us on getting Jalen Ramsey is the taxes, in my opinion. And nobody wants to come to Minnesota on their final, good contract they're about to get and then have to pay back all them taxes. I think at the NBA, we just seen who's the player, Kevin Durant, on his final big contract. Did just not want to play for Minnesota, and then the taxes were the major problem.
Maybe he thinks he can get a ring.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he wants a Super Bowl. Kevin Durant's already got a ring.
Yeah, there comes a point in time where wanting that championship.
And people typically in the NFL want to come to Minnesota to get a ring. So it's not like it's out of the question.
Well, Jalen Ramsey's got a ring.
Cody,
I'm sorry. And what?
Sometimes you just gotta go
look,
with it.
I'm good with Asante Samuel Jr. I'll take it as a consolation.
Yeah, and Asante Samuel will be one of those guys I was talking about. It's not going to be the Jalen Ramsey kind of money, but it'll be
both for them.
No. We got Isaiah Rodgers. We don't need both of them.
Mm-hmm. I think Asante Samuel fits perfectly in the mold of what we just did with the contract. You get him for around $4 to $6 million for that 1 year. All right, prove it. Do you deserve a bigger contract after that for the injury that you had? We got to wait till July 1st or 2nd to figure out. That makes perfect sense.
Steve asked how come no one's tried to get Ramsey, and I don't know that nobody has. But also to get Ramsey right now, you got to trade for him and take on his contract. When there's many people who believe if they don't get a trade partner that they're going to end up releasing him.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can sign him on your terms.
And a cornerback is what we're really looking for, too, because we were one of the teams to inquire about Jaire Alexander.
So they say.
I mean, where's the proof in that, right?
Right. All I'm saying is it's very interesting that they cut Josh Oliver's salary in half when they didn't need to.
It's a move. I mean, they're not creating cap space now to be able to push it to next year. They could have just left shit alone if that were the case. They made cap space to make a move. There's one more move.
Yeah, because there's not much cap space next year.
And I think they know what the move is. Like, I think they've already, I mean, I want to say they've had conversation, but they can't talk with Ramsey yet. So if they've had conversation, then it's not Ramsey. But, I mean, it could be Asante. I mean, his scheduled checkup supposed to be this month, right? In July coming up?
Yeah, July 1st, right?
So should have word that if he's going to be able to play or not.
Shit. By the next show.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. But I could tell you one player that we won't be signing. He's a cornerback. That is Shaquille Griffin. He won't be back.
Shucks.
Fish, I know you were looking forward to it. You were I think you had a hot take saying he would come back. You bet me a lot of money on it, and you lost. So we'll talk about that off camera.
All right, I'm sorry, man. Do you take payments?
I do.
I got a better idea. If you don't mind, could you just payroll deduct it out of me for a little bit?
Yeah, I will garnish your wages. But yeah, Shaq Griffin went back to Seattle, so we won't be going there.
Oh, that revenge
Shaq Griffin went back to Seattle.
High.
Fall down. I see a big Seahawks versus Vikings game coming. I don't think Shaq Griffin has anything to do, with a rivalry with the Vikings and the Seahawks. I think that there's already enough bad blood between the Vikings and the Seahawks that we don't need any of the players. But I mean, it's going to be a showdown for Darnold and JJ McCarthy if Darnold is still even in the starting position when that game comes around. Shaq named players never work out.
Damn, Shaq.
I mean, there's a pretty good basketball player.
Was last year. It's not like we paid him a whole bunch.
Yeah, he played up to his contract.
He sure did.
That's I know in the NFL.
Shaq, you're a Pelicans fan, right?
Yes, sir.
Why the hell did you trade up and not go select that Carter kid out of Arizona?
I don't know who that is.
Blew my mind.
Good answer.
Because he wasn't the best player available.
He was definitely the best player available.
Who says who? On whose board?
NBA scouts boards.
They were reaching.
They reached.
They went for best player available for need, and we needed a center.
Yeah.
Oh, is that how that goes?
Clayton was there too.
Ah, shit is hot.
All right,
Well, now we're off that side street. So there might be a move coming that the Josh Oliver signing, and it could be something as big as Ramsey. It could be something as small as a backup cornerback that's fighting for the 4th spot.
I saw an article today that said Matthew Judon.
I don't think we need that.
More edge.
Would he be able to play behind Hargrave?
Judon is an edge rusher.
Yeah, he's an edge. So I don't see that. That'd be bad news for Dallas Turner.
Yeah, it means he's not progressing the way we thought he would.
They were more questioning, and I didn't really want to say this, but now that you've said Dallas Turner, they were more questioning about Bo Richter. They were like, yeah, we got Grenard, they got Grenard, and they got Van Ginkel, and then they've got Dallas Turner, and who is Bo Richter? And I'm like, oh, you sons of bitches.
That says more about them than it says about us as a team.
True that.
I wouldn't mind.
They're going to learn.
Replace Bo Richter.
No, I mean, when you put it like that, I can see them maybe bringing in an edge, but probably not somebody Judon's level.
Yeah.
He's not coming in to be a backup.
Yeah, that's real wild. Upgrade edge 4 with a starter.
I mean, depends how B-Flow runs his defense in the scheme.
Well, they were saying that he had a down year for the Falcons last year where he only got like 3.5 sacks. And then his last year with the Patriots, he missed half the season with an injured bicep. So he's on that downswing, fellas. That's what they were trying to say.
Oh, that's a perfect Viking.
Yep. I think he's over 30, too.
He's just checking all the boxes.
I almost feel like this is Minnesota's version of DEI. Get them old, get them injured, get them first round busts. This is how we roll.
Well, we will find out in the next couple of weeks because training camp does open on July 26th, and that goes through August 14th. So that's the next time that we'll actually get to see these guys out there on the field, shorts, and I think they wear shoulder pads and helmets. But that's to be the next time we see them. Last year, training camp was actually pretty interesting because we had, is it going to be Sam Darnold or will J.J. McCarthy actually be able to beat him out? And they were showing one day Sam Darnold looked great. The next day, J.J. McCarthy looked great. So that kind of made things interesting. There's no drama with the quarterback this year. I mean, quarterback 2, we could talk about that for hours, but let's save that for another day. But there's really not going to be much interesting stuff going on with the quarterback. Of course, we're going to want to see JJ throw some balls, but there's no battle there. So with that being said, is there anything that you guys are looking forward to seeing in camp this year? Is there a battle or a position group or a player you want to see how they're progressing during camp?
JJ McCarthy. I think that'd be the biggest. It has to be the biggest thing on there for camp. How is JJ McCarthy progressing through camp? Because they're already saying, what do they say? We really like JJ McCarthy and where he's at. All right, he's not quite ready, but we're going to get him ready. He's going to be ready week by week by week, So it's JJ McCarthy. You got to see how he plays against actual 11-on-11 against that first team defense. It's not going to be 7-on-7 no more, where there's no pass rush coming in against him. How does he focus his reads when there's actual pass rush coming at him? What is he going to make the correct decisions? How he layers the ball right now? He's kind of having a problem layering the football, right? Those big time intermediate throws on those corner routes. So it'd be JJ McCarthy and how we will watch him progress throughout the training camp.
What about you, Michael Fish? Donovan Jackson?
I think it's our cornerback room. I know you're big on Rodgers and I'm not, but to me, other than we've paid Byron Murphy, it feels just kind of like soup, where we just don't know like who's gonna be our starting cornerbacks. And I really want to see that really metastasize. I want to see it just harden up, and this is who we're going to have. And, you know, Okuda, Vaughn, whoever, man. See who's going to step up and be the starter so we know what we got. Maybe even make that signing we were talking about. So I'm really interested to see how that cornerback room shapes up.
What's it for you, Shaq?
So since Fish stole mine, I'm going to go with the offensive line competition because, like, we don't really know if Darrisaw is going to be ready for week 1. We're all hoping he's going to be ready for week 1, but we don't really know. And I'm trying to see who's going to be the backup to Christian Darrisaw. Whether it be they can Brandel compete with Josh Skol or, you know, finding a new swing tackle because I don't currently know who is our swing tackle right now.
Yeah, you don't have any faith in Walter Rouse?
That's an issue.
I mean, we usually have veteran backups, but right now I feel like all our backups are drafted within the last few years to be starters, or not even to be starters, to be backups, and like we don't really know what to expect from them. So
I'll tell you who I'm really pulling for in this one is the diabetic kid.
Who's that again? I forgot his
name. Pulled it? No.
Logan Brown?
Yes, Logan Brown. Didn't he
Logan
play
Brown?
He played for an SEC team, right? He's the one that's type 1 diabetic. But they're saying
Big 12 team, Kansas. Yeah.
Hey, John, that's the only answer. It was a trick question, and everybody passed. I think there's only like 2 people that said that they'd rather see the Packers win the Super Bowl than watch us lose, and which I was kind of disappointed because you should always want the Packers to lose no matter what.
Yeah, shit. That was
But thank you for joining us, John.
That was a low down, dirty question, though.
It was because it actually made you think about it a little bit, but it's like, wait a minute, what the f am I thinking? Of course, I want the Packers to lose. Like, and if the Vikings lose the Super Bowl, so be it.
That was a great question, though, for the tackle position with Darrisaw, because we don't have a swing tackle on the team right now, right? We got a guy that we think can play swing tackle. Even if we find someone that can replace our left tackle, we are still down a swing tackle. So that's a great question for training camp, a thing to watch during.
I think it might be Blake Brandel because he did play tackle before we moved him to guard.
Yeah, I think it's like Brandel too, but I think Skol ends up replacing Darrisaw till Darrisaw comes back if needed. But I do think Brandel could play both the left and right side if needed.
Yeah, especially like what happens if we get rid of Blake Brandel? Because there was talks about that too.
I don't think so. I don't think this season. Like I think he's probably our most dependable backup offensive lineman.
It would help with the Jim
I don't
Ramsey.
See, like next, we don't need to. We have the money. I mean, next year we might not have the cap space to keep him. So it was just asking get suspended. Yeah, I think he's getting suspended. I don't think there's any way around it. Which is part of the reason what I'm most interested in seeing the wide receivers, because we have Justin Jefferson and we have Jordan Addison, and then we have question marks. And Addison himself is a question mark because he might be getting suspended for 3 games, and then he's got to come back and get up to speed. And then at wide receiver 3, we have Jalen Naylor, who at times looked good in that position, at times didn't look so good, and I don't think Jalen Naylor's on this team next year because if he doesn't play good, we're not going to give him a contract. If he does play good, someone else is going to give him a bigger contract than we're going to give him. So what's after that? Really, it's only Ty Felton. So that's a rookie that I'm very interested in, and I want to see his development. I want to see if he can be a guy. But then after that, like, what do we have? Like, is it possible that we actually need to go out there and get another wide receiver? Because we really only have like 4. I know we got Rondale Moore, but there's a good chance Rondale Moore either doesn't make the squad or he starts on the PUP list.
PUP.
Oh, I'm gonna be very interested to see what's up with these wide receivers after Justin Jefferson, because that's also going to be a big part of JJ McCarthy's success. Like, does he have guys he's gonna be able to throw to, or is he gonna have to dink and dunk to the tight end and make TJ Hawkinson a triple crown winner at tight end?
That works for me.
Mm-hmm. I do like Grondale Moore a lot. He was seen working out at OTAs, so maybe he doesn't and start the season on the pup.
No.
Shaq.
No.
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 Not even if the house is on fire. Not even if there's a fire.
I'd rather see us put Brett Rippon in, let the season go to waste, and then we start draft season. Crazy part is, I was just watching on Instagram the year where Joe Webb and Toby Gerhart took over. And instead of having the second pick, we won against the Redskins, against Kirk Cousins. And we had the fourth pick and drafted Matt Khalil. So
we could have had Andrew Luck.
How long are players on our team that we signed over the offseason for? Like
2025? Well, it'll be, I think the core is signed to at least 2027.
You're talking about like our free agents, like Jonathan Allen and all them guys?
Yeah.
Basically 1 year. They've got a little bit over 1 year worth of guaranteed money.
Yeah, because 2026 cap is non-existent right now. Like, it's not there. So if we have a team that's built to win now, you might need to find that quarterback somehow if JJ McCarthy does go down. If this
I don't even like talking this. I don't like putting this in the ether that JJ McCarthy could get hurt. But if we are gonna talk it and he does go down at a time when we're still in contention, then yes, I would go get Kirk Cousins if that's a viable option.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen this before.
I know we've seen this before, but I've also seen the season go down the drain because our quarterback went down and we didn't have a dependable person behind him.
Because that could set us.
I would rather see Kevin O'Connell suit up at halftime.
This would be the best offensive line that Kirk Cousins ever played behind.
Oh my gosh!
I mean,
am I lying?
It
You
might
ain't lying.
Shit, that don't give Kirk Cousins enough. Unless you could promise me he has Jesus on the field. I'm not.
He does. He has purple Jesus. JJ. He has Justin Jefferson.
He needs more than that.
I don't know, man. I would definitely make that move if something was to happen to JJ McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
What we got? Will Ham ever be let go? Man, I don't think so. I think they're just going to keep Ham forever. Like, he's going to end up having to take the league minimum, but he's going to be here taking up a roster spot. I thought he'd be gone the last 2 years, and it hasn't happened, so I'm done writing him off. He does too much for this team off the field, I believe.
I think he does too much for this team on the field, too. Like, when it came to we needed a running back that could block for Sam Darnold last year, we ended up throwing CJ Ham back there to take the blocks because Aaron Jones or Cam Akers couldn't block to save a fucking soul, right? So we threw CJ Ham back there, and it led to touchdowns for us while we were in the red zone.
Whoa. Who am I attached to, bro? I'm not attached to Kirk Cousins or CJ Ham. I'm just telling you that they're not letting CJ Ham go. Like, that's their problem. Yeah. I'm definitely not attached to Kirk Cousins, but I am attached to, if we're like in the middle of a playoff run and our quarterback goes down, to doing whatever is necessary to keep that thing going.
Yeah,
like
if
we're like 8-2 or something like that, and he goes down, well, I'm not just okay. We could tank for the draft pick because we're already picking in the middle of the rounds. No, we need a damn quarterback and need to finish this thing. And Kirk Cousins may be the most viable option at that time. So yeah, I'm gonna pull that trigger unless for some reason we can get Case Keenum from the Bears.
He's on the Bears?
Yeah, he's a Bear.
That's fascinating.
So,
see, now this is wisdom.
But we got two good things going for us this year. We have the best defense.
You hear Duke Shelley every week. Every week, someone's got to bring up Duke Shelley.
There's a reason.
Who the fuck brought up Duke Shelley?
He's my Case Keenum.
No, he's not, because I really love Case Keenum. So it's not the same.
What's good about this year is we have the two best.
I like John. I haven't seen John before, but I don't know if I've seen him, but I like John a lot.
We have the two best things right now that creates championships that we haven't had in a very long time. It's the best defense we had since 2017 and 18, and the best offensive line we've had since 2009. Both years we went to a conference championship. This time around, we got them both in the same season.
Yeah.
So if JJ McCarthy goes down, you go get a fucking quarterback that can play quarterback.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And now his Achilles is probably more healed. And he had some good games for Atlanta last year. I mean, I think
They beat Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think they liked him.
He doesn't match that style of play.
He sold him down the river on the tampering.
What is Shaq pointing down at? What am I missing? Oh, 31 around the corner.
If you're watching, please subscribe and hit the like on YouTube. That's what I was pointing at.
Yeah, hit that subscribe button.
Atlanta faltered. Like they got Kirk Cousins, didn't run. I think they're the lowest play action team in the NFL last year. Like not even playing to what he's good at.
I think it had something to do with his Achilles. Why they started doing the play action.
That's all I'm saying, Bob Sweet. That's all I'm saying.
We should have kept Case. I mean yeah.
KEPT, but I'm just being nitpicky.
I would have loved to keep Case Keenum just to see what he did next year and watch him fail. But
that's how I felt it was going to happen.
Okay, Robbie. Robbie Bowden.
I just don't think he's a good quarterback. Great college quarterback, though.
Great Viking quarterback. That's all I care about. I don't care about what he's done anywhere else.
No, he didn't.
All right. Moving on. I don't know if you guys saw this picture, and I don't know if there's anything behind it, if it means anything. But we got my man Isaiah Rodgers right here wearing a black Vikings helmet.
Bring it.
I mean,
I want this.
This had to come from somewhere, right? Like
real.
It's real.
I mean, he posted it. He posted it himself on his own social media. So
I'm gonna say it right now: Black Christmas.
Black Christmas.
I think it's gonna be. We're gonna be
Black
all
Friday.
But yeah, but like,
we don't play Black Friday.
But I on Christmas Day, it's gonna be all black uniform, black helmet. We're at home. We're playing the Detroit Lions that week, and Detroit's gonna come out and they're all shitty white uniform or something. It's gonna be. I think that's what's gonna happen.
What do you think, Fish? Do you think they're gonna wear an all black uniform this year? And is that something you're interested in seeing?
Not at all, and I hope they don't.
I'm with you, Fish.
I just want them to stay with their tried and true. Mike Breedy has entered the building. You're now free to move about the cabin. I just want them to stay with purple and gold and white. Don't go the route of having to put black in the uniform. Stay true to their colors. And yeah, we don't need to do that shit. I will say this about that picture, though, real quick. That's Isaiah Rodgers, right?
It is.
Looks like his hip flexors are in good shape. He might be able to do good transitions. So maybe I should be worried about him making me look stupid.
You should be. I don't like you conceding so early, though.
I'm not conceding.
I would say since the NFL is doing this rivalry jersey thing, and we're not part of that new rivalry thing that the NFL is doing, I don't think they're going to showcase any new helmets or jersey this year. But if they do, I think it'll probably be reverse colors. I think it'll be like probably yellow or gold jerseys with purple lettering instead of black.
With a black helmet. I fucking think that black helmet's sick as shit, dude.
Kind of like reminiscent of the Lakers, since the Lakers used to be a Minnesota team.
True that.
I mean, I can see that. I don't see us wearing all black. I really don't. And I actually don't want it. I'm with Fish. I like the purple and gold. I had to get over the winter whiteout. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of that either.
I wasn't a fan of that.
I love it.
We know you went out, you put a ring on it.
Mm-hmm. One night stand. It was too good. Had to put a ring on it.
They are coming out with. I think the AFC North this year is going to debut them. Is the like how baseball does the City Connect and basketball does it. So this is the first year they're going to debut like a City Connect version for the NFL and the AFC. I think it's the AFC East or the North that are going to be the first one. AFC East are to be the first ones to put them out there. Because I know the Dolphins got a Miami Vice jersey coming out. The Bills are wearing all red. So they're going to, and next year is the NFC North.
Yeah, if it's anything like the Twin City Connect, it would be
not rare. I hope it's like Prince.
Some of them are nice. Some of them are nice. It's just the majority of them are just basic.
And the last thing that I saw this week was, for some reason, I seen a lot of people posting on social media the most delusional fan bases. It was more than one person, and the Vikings were at the top of those lists. Do we got delusional fans as a whole?
Yes.
Like, yes?
I think we had the most.
Why is that, Shaq?
We're delusional because, from my perspective, we want to keep everybody for cheap, expect the Super Bowl ring every year, and then when a player says they're not feeling Minnesota because for whatever reason, whether it be the coaching's not right or they feel like they're bigger than the team, then we want to say they ain't do shit for the franchise and we want to throw them off the team. When all actuality is they're tired of the same shit of us going to, the playoffs, and then for whatever reason, we don't look like a playoff team anymore. So, to sum it all up, we might be delusional because, at best, we always expect to go to the Super Bowl, but, we'll settle for a playoff appearance and then try to build on that because that's all the Vikings ever give us.
Speaking of,
we got one fan
Vikings
who's not
fans.
delusional. We got a fan that's not delusional. What's up, Nick?
Hi guys, how you doing?
What's up?
We're doing good. Long time no see.
We're doing good, Nick.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
I can hear you just fine, buddy.
Oh, let me put my headphones on.
Are you giving us the tour of the new house or what?
Yeah.
This reminds me of that time way back in the beginning where Dragos took us through the whole place.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
You're good.
Yeah.
Can you hear
I
us,
can't hear
Nick?
you guys.
Oh, we can hear you.
Oh, let me take my headphones off.
Uh-oh.
If they're Bluetooth, you might have to connect them.
Mm-hmm. I think we're the most delusional fan base just because of the word hope. We come in every single year hoping we'd fucking win a Super Bowl, yet to get crushed in the playoffs. Like, to me,
No,
that's delusional.
Not
No,
even
go.
hope, expecting, Cody. Expecting
But see-
to win a Super Bowl.
But see, are we delusional or are we loyal?
Loyal. We are definitely 100% loyal. Just going to the Nashville game last year, that stadium was packed in purple. Like, we are the most loyal. I think we're the most loyal football team, and I think we're the second most delusional football team because the Cowboys are always number one.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it's Paco fans. They're the most delusional.
Say it so Steve
I don't
can hear
see
ya.
us be. We can hear you, Nick. I don't think we're delusional. I really don't, because yes, we often come into a season with hope, but we're also not naive to our history, and like we wear it with a badge of honor that we always end up choking, and we make fun of it, we make jokes about it, and we know we've never won a Super Bowl. Like, there's no delusion here.
We predicted 15 wins this year, Keith.
Okay, that wasn't fair. That wasn't fair. But let's talk about when we did this last year. I think we ended up predicting like 12 or 13, and we thought that was delusional. Then we went and won 14.
Mm-hmm. We hope.
Yeah. If you don't hope, what's the point?
Yeah, there is no point to be a football fan.
So yeah, hope isn't delusion.
I don't know. I hope a lot of things. I hope I have $1 billion next year, but that ain't gonna happen.
Can I tell you what's delusional?
What's delusional?
You want to know what's delusional? Having bleacher seats and thinking you're an NFL mecca of pro football is delusional. That is why the Packer fans are the most delusional fans in the NFL. They live in a stadium that's meant for people that are 100-year-old. And I know there are Packer fans watching. I don't care. Your stadium's a dump.
Tell him, Nick.
There we go.
And Nick lives in that dumpy area, so he knows what he's talking about. He sat on them bleachers.
Nick,
Okay, can I ask a question?
You just did.
Okay.
That's my best Robbie. That was my best Robbie impersonation.
No Robbie impersonation. I'm not going to do that. How
Go ahead.
many? Have you guys lived in an apartment before?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like I'm like right now, like this is my first time where I'm actually talking on the phone late at night, and I'm like over analyzing whether my neighbors can hear me or not.
Can
They'll let
you
you know.
hear them?
What's that, Keith?
Can you hear them?
No,
If you can't hear them, they can't hear you.
Mm-hmm.
but they might be sleeping.
In general, Nick.
You know, if they knock on your wall, then you know that you're being too loud.
True.
Either
They
that
don't
or
knock on
Because
your
my
wall.
door is closed and
Wait
their
till you-
door is closed.
Wait till you
So-
You're
walk
good.
the hallways. Wait till you walk the hallways during trash day. You're like,
But no,
no cooking.
to the Packer fans that watch this,
Shareholders.
you guys are the most delusional because Lambeau Field is meant for high school football games with the aluminum bleachers. No, I don't want to share my ass cheek with anybody when I go to an NFL game. You got these
Not even
bleachers.
me.
Come on, Fish.
Nick's like,
He don't even know how to answer that.
I
I
just
didn't
gotta
even know
say
what he
something
said.
real quick.
Oh.
Ken Williams.
He said you
is
don't want to share with his ass.
Oh, his ass is fine, but I'm just saying.
I just noticed Ken Williams is back. I haven't seen his name in a
Oh,
while.
Ken, man, Ken, I meant to shout that out, Ken. We haven't seen you in a while, so thank you for pointing that out, Fish. Ken, you've been a stranger lately. What's up, man?
Ken, I have a pertinent question for you. I'm starting to warm up on this Vaughn kid. Why don't you get on the show with us and tell us a little bit about him?
No, why don't you invite him to do Stumped?
Well, now that I see he's still alive, I just might.
Oops, we don't know what we're talking about right now, but we're gonna get this back on track. We're gonna get this back on track, and we're actually gonna jump into our 53-man prediction. So we went through this week and we made up our own 53-man roster of what we think it would be. And on this version, we didn't do any like, oh, maybe we'll sign a player or trade or do something. We just went with what we have and who we think is going to make the roster based on what we have. And we're going to kind of update this throughout the off season. So let's jump into it. We started with quarterback. I don't think there's any big surprises here.
Nope.
You got McCarthy, Howell, Rippon, and Brosmer out. I do think there's a chance that Brosmer could beat out Rippon for that spot, but I think it's Rippon's job to lose as a quarterback 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
So.
Rippon and Brosmer, like right now, the initial 53 puts out on the Vikings page, and it always shows 3 quarterbacks, but week 1 comes out, and then we have 2 quarterbacks on the active roster, then 2 on the practice squad. I think Rippon and Brosmer or definitely Brosmer will be on that practice squad.
I think
Yeah,
if
I'm not even
Brosmer
sure.
would make the roster, I think it would cause a QB controversy.
For QB2?
Yeah, sure. The Minnesota kid, Minnesota Viking lands love to associate Minnesota football with Minnesota football, and I think it would create a quarterback controversy.
That's a hot take, and
Mm.
I don't think so. But it's a hot take. After that, we got running backs, which again, not much surprise. Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason locked in at 1 and 2. Could debate if Ty Chandler will make it or not. And then CJ Ham, it's been brought up, but they just don't seem interested in getting rid of CJ Ham.
Yeah.
Too good at special teams, I guess, huh, guys?
Too good at pass blocking.
See, that's the thing. He's been the pass blocker. I don't know if Jordan Mason brings some of that, which maybe could make him expendable.
Jordan Mason?
Yeah.
Is he good at pass blocking?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Maybe
I don't remember.
to the table. Then we got the wide receivers. You got, of course, Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison at the top. No doubt about it. Jalen Naylor is going to make the team. Ty Felton should make the team, but I wouldn't say he's a lock. And then we got Silas Bolden mostly making it as a kick returner. And I know somebody earlier said that Isaiah Rodgers returns kicks. Yes, he does. But if Isaiah Rodgers is our starting cornerback, I don't think they're going to have him out there returning kicks.
So here's my question. If Ty Felton doesn't make the team and he's our second pick, does that make him a bust?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Absolutely.
all draft picks make this team.
You would hope so, but I think there's one that might not make it.
Yeah. We'll see.
Oh, he's right here. So for our tight ends, we got TJ Hawkinson, Josh Oliver, and Benjamin Urosek.
See, this is where I would argue Benjamin Urosek doesn't make the team, because why didn't we just draft him instead of Gavin Bartholomew?
I mean, where Gavin got drafted and Urosek being a UDFA, they're basically right next to each other, and now they're in camp for a competition.
Yeah, but I mean, were we afraid that Gavin would be picked up off a UDFA and Benjamin Urosek wouldn't? You know, like.
No, panic pick.
Yeah, panic pick. But yeah, no, honestly, I like how our 53-man sets up, because there's really nothing to argue about. You're just like, okay.
Yeah, here we are arguing.
I'm not arguing anything.
Over tight end 3.
I'm just saying everybody that's drafted this year will get on this team.
When you go from having the best tight end 3 in the game to an unknown commodity, that's a problem, Keith.
See, oops, this is not good logic. Like I just said, where they drafted him is basically a UDFA. They're in a competition, and the best man will win. And it won't be well, we did draft him, so we got to stick with him. Hell no. All of a sudden, we're trusting Kwesi's drafting pedigree.
If we cut Gavin, how much against the salary cap is that? Is it like $4 million?
It's about $4
for a 6th-round pick. Yeah, $4 million, more than his whole contract.
Well, didn't we just save $4 million? Why would we cut $4 million then? Maybe we did that. Maybe we did that because we're going to cut Gavin.
I was joking. It's not going to be $4 million. Where are you getting that number from?
Well, he signed a.
You think a 6th-rounder has a fully guaranteed contract?
Well, he's reaching for the information, Keith.
He signed a 4-year, $4 million. Yeah, 4-year, $4 million.
Yeah. You know what? Benjamin Urosek signed a 1-year, $3 million deal.
Yeah, that's pretty good numbers too.
Yeah, none of it's guaranteed, my man.
Yeah.
Just like the 6th-rounder is not guaranteed. Come on, you know better.
I'll reap my reward when Gavin's on this team and Benjamin's not, so it'll be all right. Next.
Here's our offensive line, which this one was actually a little bit tough because I kind of want Logan Brown to make it, but when I was going through it myself, and I think you guys too, it's like I don't know who we're asking for Logan Brown to make it.
Michael Jerkins.
Amen, Shaq.
Shaq, and I agree with you that it would probably be Michael Jergens, but who's our backup center?
Yeah.
We don't care, Keith. It don't matter.
Who are backup
logic.
center? You might as well just sign somebody off the street. That's just as good as Michael Jerkins.
I hate Michael Jergens. I thought he was terrible at Wake Forest.
Here it comes.
That's why Sam Hartman left. So, and I even think Michael Jergens makes this team.
Oh man.
Just in case Quasey's watching, I'm available. I'm cheap.
I'm his agent, by the way, Quasi.
So again, this is kind of like Donovan Jackson, whereas maybe you guys don't like him. I think the Vikings really do like Michael Jergens, and I don't think there's any chance that he's not making this roster.
Drafted too,
and
right?
Again, he is our only backup corner center. None of these other guys play center.
Shit.
I bet Joe Huber could.
I bet Blake Brown.
I bet he would try.
Matter of fact, I think Joe Huber did. I think he played a little bit of center in Wisconsin.
Yeah, but he's like 32.
Joe Huber, UDFA?
Well, perfect. Wasn't he an older one? Didn't he play like 7 years of college?
Joe Huber sounds like an old name. Maybe.
I mean, who else plays center on this team?
Nobody.
Yeah, he's staying.
Listen.
Oh, damn. So he's only 23.
Listen, guys. We could just do it and look at Ryan Kelly dead in the eye and say, you're not getting injured this year. You better not. We're counting on you. You better play hurt, boy.
D Woods, what's up?
What's up, D Woods?
Yeah, I don't see it happening, but I mean, Logan Brown, Walter Rouse, I don't know if his position on the team is locked in there.
Isn't he the only swing tackle on this team?
No, you said we didn't have one.
Yeah, I know we don't have one, but he's the closest thing to it.
Besides Blake Brown.
Yeah.
Logan Brown, could Logan Brown be that guy?
I'd go with the draft pick over Logan Brown.
Logan Brown's got that first or second round talent, but he's a type 1 diabetic. That's why I'm pulling for him. If they can find a way to mitigate his health issue, I'm saying he could be a surprise.
Man, we could sure use Willie Lampkin right now.
See, anytime that's the problem, with Fish right now, though. Anytime you mention an offensive lineman we could have drafted in the 5th round, it's like, well, see, we could have had him in the 5th instead of getting Donovan Jackson, and he could have been our day 1 starter. No, it don't work that way.
Yeah, imagine getting Willie Lampkin in the 5th instead of whatever his name is, who ain't even going to make the damn team this year.
I'm not
Donovan Jackson?
I'm not starting a 5th round.
Donovan Jackson's going to not make the team this year?
No. What's his name with the hyphenated name? I don't even care about him enough to remember his name.
Terrion?
Yeah.
Terrion? I'd rather take Terrion over Willie Lampkin. I know.
I'm sure you would.
I know Terrion.
We drafted him.
Terrion will probably get more snaps than Willie Lampkin will get on injury.
that Fish, that was good, but I agree with him. But that was still good. There he is, right there, Terrion Ingram Dawkins.
Bang.
Looks good. Looks good. About the only picture we'll ever see of him in a Vikings uniform.
Yeah. At least he'll get 5% snaps.
That's
Probably
Jalen
not even
Redmond,
going to be able to get a card made of him because he won't be on us that long.
That's Jalen Redmond, bro.
Whatever. I was looking at
Fish,
Ken down.
Fish, are you okay, man? Do you want to talk? You want to talk for a second? You got something to say? You all right?
All right, yeah. Let me say it. I hate this draft. I hate the way we drafted this year. I hate just about every pick that we took except for the ones we took in the latest rounds. And that says something. And I can't believe we extended Quasey. What a shit ass draft. Reaching in the first round for a second round guard when there were better players on, taking a damn wide receiver in the third round when we had so many more positions in need. Fifth round, we take some yahoo who ain't going to see the fucking field. And then, we get a good linebacker in the later rounds and a decent whatever tight end. But I'm sick of seeing Quasey in the draft. Hand the reins of the draft over to KOC, Quasey. He can do a better job at it.
Feel better?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
That was funny. I wasn't expecting all that. I expected some of that, but not all of that. You never know what you're gonna get when you let Fish take the reins like that, though. How do you feel about our defensive line here that we put together, though? Besides Ingram Dawkins,
get that shit out of here. Get both the guys with the 3 names out of there. Don't need them.
No, wait.
Whoa.
Pick last year.
Yeah, you.
Oh God, Drake. Let's all fall over for last year's 7th round draft pick.
Well, I can't wait till next year when you're like, oh, let's go for Donovan Jackson. He's the best pick we've seen yet.
I can't wait for it too, Cody.
Fish, why are you turning on Drake Rodriguez?
That was your boy.
That was your boy last year.
He was not my boy. I said he had.
Oh, we got the receipts.
We do.
I said he's got a good lateral step, and and you never saw it in a game.
He said more than that. I like this. I mean,
but I will tell you what, Jalen Redmond, love him. Hope he starts next year.
I don't see it. I hope you're right. All right. On the edge, we got Gennard, Van Ginkel, Turner, Gabriel Murphy, and Bo Richter making it. Out, it's Tyler Batty and Chaz Chambliss.
That's pretty straight.
Tyler Batty, that's a tough one. He might actually be able to beat out Bo Richter or Gabriel Murphy.
It feels
he was
like
one of the prize UDFAs.
Feels like Tyler Batty is is Bo Richter, the same guy we talked about last year about making the roster. So I think it's a toss up. Yeah, I mean, it's a new year, new player, new toy. I think Tyler Bate's going to beat out Bo Richter this year. We've been saying that.
I didn't say I think he is. I said I think there's an opportunity to. Yeah. And Bo Richter wasn't drafted, Cody. So so maybe, right?
Yeah, Gabriel Murphy wasn't drafted either.
Yeah, so there's a chance.
I'm waiting for him to show up.
We should.
Roddy, I mean, everybody passed on Will Johnson, and there's a reason for it.
Yeah. It's a knee issue, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he probably has a 5-year career.
Shit.
Even if he's good.
Mm-hmm.
5 years of good play.
Only need one.
20 years of nothing.
We might get 15 years of all-pro play at guard.
No, I think we'll get 15 solid years at guard.
Yeah, I mean, Will Fry's 15 years. He's already played for, 5? That's a little reach, but we're used to reaching.
You're used to reaching around.
I take it you want to share an ass seat on the football game, Keith?
No, I'm good. I don't have no reason to be in Green Bay, especially for that.
I think there's only one All-Pro that came out of this year's draft.
Here we go with the inside linebackers. We got Blake Cashman, Ivan Pace. Then you got Eric Wilson and Kobe King. Out. Brian Asamoah.
Hey, Eric Wilson stepped in some games and played well, so I can see him taking over Brian Asamoah's spot.
I mean, Brian Asamoah's spot's a cheerleader in special teams.
Mm-hmm.
And that really bums me out because I was really excited about the pick when we made it, and I thought for sure he was going to work out, and for some reason he just hasn't been able to get on the field, and it says a lot when you got a UDFA that beat you out 2 years in a row.
And you look at Brian Flores' defensive scheme, it's all about the smaller inside linebacker, like Kobe King, Ivan Pace, Eric Wilson. Like Blake Cashman's kind of that outlier, but all the rest of these dudes are just smaller linebackers with speed. So that's exciting to see. I love that.
Kobe
Bob,
King
he's
can
being
lay wood though.
because the team can only keep 53 people.
Yeah.
And he is not one of the top 53 players on this team, in my opinion, and the rest of the crew's opinion. I think maybe one of you chose to keep him. Is that you, Shaq?
I can't remember.
I did.
Okay.
I thought special teams.
Okay.
Hey guys.
What
What's up, Ken?
Hey, there's Ken.
Yep, I'm here.
What took you so long? Why were you gone for so long?
Cause I've been busy, man. I've lost over 45 pounds.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations, buddy.
Congrats, man.
Yes. Sorry for your loss, Ken. I know.
Can't you tell?
You look jacked, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying.
Sorry for
That's
your
for
loss,
sure.
Ken. I know. Ken Rising was gonna be one of your guys, but sorry for your
You
loss.
know, you were talking about the Vaughn kid. You think he's gonna make it?
I'm hoping.
I can answer that.
I guess he didn't make it. Oh, tough luck.
So
I don't even-
this was a big one. Big talk was Deshaun Jones, Tavarius Thomas, and Tim Jones for us on our. It was the very last person to make the 53 man, and it was basically a toss up. It was a tie across the board.
I mean, for
I
me,
don't know. I don't know if I would. McCollum, really? McCollum over Vaughn?
I don't know who McCollum is.
Vaughn,
You mean
Vaughn's
Glover?
McGovern, yeah, or Tavarius Thomas.
Tavier Thomas is here to be a special teamer. He was one of the top special teams player in the NFL last year. He's making this roster on 100%. He's not going to play cornerback.
Yeah.
Future Hall of Famer.
Future Hall of Famer.
Vaughn's big and lengthy. He's a big cover guy. He was covering all of the USC guy, you know.
To me, Ken, it's like the same thing as Bo Richter and Tyler Beatty.
Tyler
he probably
Batty's
has
going
the
to end
best.
up making this team. You watch.
But he
that
has a
guy-
chance because
last year. What were you saying last year about Bo Richter? Were you saying the same thing?
Didn't he
I
make
thought
the
Bo
team?
would make it. I thought Bo would make it because of his preseason. He did some things in preseason that was awesome. So that's a reason why that I thought that he would make it last year. But Batty has a motor. I mean, his motor never stops. I mean,
that's
he
what we said about
wrecked
Richter.
defenses.
It's the new iPhone.
I mean,
what about Dwight McGovern last year? How'd you feel about him?
I mean, he's a good, you know, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't, what I'm afraid of is I'm afraid that Vaughn's going to go somewhere else and Batty's going to go somewhere else. It'll probably be in our division and they'll probably both kill us.
I don't.
I'm
think
gonna
that-
go. I've got my hot take.
Okay, take your hot take.
I gotta wait for hot takes, Ken. But looking at
Okay.
this list right now, I've got my hot take.
It's the new
Well,
iPhone effect, I think.
hope you don't ruin it in a second. But I think Zamaya Vaughn has a chance to make it because like this is what we have for the 53 man right now. But this could change. Like Okuda's not a lock. I would say McLaughlin is not a lock. I do think there's two spots open, but I think going into it, like right now as it stands, these would be the guys.
I think
Yeah.
But Zamaya Vaughn can go out there and have a good camp, have a good preseason, and you know maybe Okuda doesn't. You know, Okuda is a guy who's here on potential. He's not a guy who's shown a lick in the NFL. So, yeah, he's not guaranteed a spot.
think it's like a
Right.
effect.
So I need to come up with a new hot take now because you just poured water all over it.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Plus, I have puppies again, so we've been busy doing that, and it's summer. And what I started doing, guys, is I started walking. And what I did, I walked over 100 miles in a month.
That's good, dude.
So, and I'm counting carbs, not calories. And I'm just watching what I eat. And all of a sudden the weight started coming off. So, I've really, really worked hard in order to look better and act better and all that. I just feel like when I go out and walk, especially here in Wyoming where I live, because it's just, it's clean air, it's beautiful, you don't have a lot of people around you, and I live on 40 acres, so I can walk the whole 40 acres. So, it's pretty nice.
Now, about that act better, I really want to see Brian Peterson get on with this right now. Test that act better.
So here we go for the safeties: Harrison Smith, Josh Metellus, Theo Jackson, and Jay Ward. No big surprise here. Michelle Powell, we don't have him making it. I don't know if there's going to be room for him to make it because it sounds like the team really wants Jay Ward to be successful and be a part of this defense, and that would be the only spot I could see Powell fitting into. But
didn't they just give Jay Ward a bit of a contract this offseason?
Not to my knowledge, but
okay.
I know that his name's been popping up as far as, kind of camp standouts, but it was doing that last year too. And last year, I believe they did keep 5 safeties. So maybe there's somewhere, maybe they don't keep as many offensive linemen as we have. So maybe there's room for Powell to make it. But as of right now, we don't have him making it. And our special teamers, it goes like this. We got Reichert, Wright, and DePaula. Same guys as last year. I think Oscar Chapman will come in and he'll give Wright a run for his money, but Wright ends up winning it and then lets us down during the season.
And we can't get rid of our one and only All-Pro.
No.
Is Reichert, is he healthy now? I heard he wasn't healthy.
No, he's healthy.
Yeah, he's healthy.
Okay, good.
And he only needs to be healthy for 9 weeks because we can sign what's his fucking name? Tucker.
Justin Tucker.
Yeah, he's suspended for 10 games this year. So after that, we can go get him.
Yeah, Riker got a sour deal. And they were just our special teams coach Daniels was talking about Riker, how they put him through the ringer, like they grinded him down. And then when he got that injury, they were saying, well, the injury is because we grinded him down so much. And then he couldn't come back to form after the injury. So he's taking a different approach this year for Reichert.
All I know is he better make his fucking kicks.
He'll make it.
Flat out.
Jack says, Cody dipped his toe in the water. I'm going to cannonball that shit.
I mean, even if you brought who on, he's not going to bother me this year. I've already made the decision. If he wants to be dumb and doesn't understand football, then that's his problem. It's not mine.
We turn the page.
Yep.
He's getting bigger, stronger.
Here's what our 53 man's looking like. Initially, this is what we got going on here. Is there something on here, Cody, that you didn't necessarily agree with?
I mean, to me, I think the roster for the starters and then the backups are kind of set in stone. We're trying to add guys that will probably see maybe 2% of snaps. I would say all drafted players will make this team from this year. But other than that, I could really care less about who's playing 4th string tight end or 3rd string tight end. So and that's a good thing because When is the last time we weren't really arguing over who's it? What is this undrafted free agent going to make the team? Like that means we have a good roster in place for this year, and I'm super excited for it.
What about you, Fish?
Our starters better stay healthy.
You don't like our depth?
Be big.
I don't like our depth. Not at all.
I love this depth.
I think I'm worried about maybe the corners and the receivers as far as depth.
Mm-hmm.
But traditionally, we don't carry a lot at those positions. It's usually 5. So they don't really worry about the depth until it happens. For me, like the ones I didn't agree with, I don't think we're going to keep 3 quarterbacks because you could put one on the practice squad and have them play every Sunday. I don't think they're worried about somebody plucking Brett Rippon from them. And if they do, oh well, they'll just go with Rosemer as the QB3. If either one of those guys got to start games, we're in trouble. So I don't think we waste a roster spot on a 3rd quarterback. And I don't think Ty Chandler makes this team. I think we might keep 3 running backs. Maybe Trey Stewart shows out. Or we just run with Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason, and then we got CJ Ham there. And then, week 4 or 5, we go ahead and trade for Akers.
Trey Stewart was my favorite undrafted free agent.
I mean, I think he's going to have a chance to make this team. I think Ty Chandler's shown what he is and who he is, and it's not a running back for this team.
I would agree with that.
What about you, Shaq? Anything on here you didn't agree with personally?
I'm not sure Eric Wilson actually makes the roster.
Ooh, it's kind of a hot take.
And it's just Eric Wilson and Benjamin Urosek. Those are only 2 players I don't think make the roster. But other than that, I'm pretty sure our starters are set. And then, our 3rd and 4th string is just rather if they could play special teams or if they do a role for this team that we need that the starters can't do. Or if they get injured, we have them do like a special set of plays that we can basically get done.
All right. Yeah. Going through this, I think we all noticed like it's pretty chalky. Like there's maybe 5 spots open that's not already spoken for. So there's a lot of guys
Can you pull that
aren't
list
going to make
back
this
up
team.
again real quick, Keith, please?
Sure thing, pal.
All right, Cody. According to this list, let's check it. 4 new starters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. We got JJ, Allen, and Hargrave.
Mm-hmm.
Fries and Kelly.
Then we got Rogers.
With Theo Jackson.
I was talking about Donovan, but Theo Jackson.
Oh, and Donovan Jackson.
Jackson,
Yeah, I thought they were going to.
It blew that hot take out of the water.
Yeah, I thought they were going to re-sign a lot of players.
Okay. Thank you, Keith.
No problem.
Hey,
Anything else I can do for you?
See my baby. See my baby.
Is that Cam Rising? I can't see him.
So, Cody, you got a Cody calls it for us tonight?
Yeah, I got it. It's going to be pretty hot. I don't know if it's going to be that hot because the NFL has changed. More teams are putting out more yards. But I think this offense that we have this year is going to be a better offense than the 1998 season. And when I say about offense, just like the betting thing that Fish wants to bring on, right? I think they're going to have more yards than what they did in 1998. And I'm going to say this, they're going to have more yards and they're going to do it a different way. It's not, hey, where's Randy at? Throw it deep, right? We're not going to throw 9 routes all fucking game long to where Randy Moss has 3 receptions or Justin Jefferson has 3 receptions for 100.
I got to go, guys.
right?
Thanks for joining
I
us,
think it's
Game
going to be ran in a
Kids.
different way. I think the offense is going to be really good. I think it's going to be better than a 98 season. I'm only
Skol.
because of the two running backs we have in place. Those two running backs are going to have more combined yards than what Robert Smith did, right? And if you look back in 2020, we broke that yards record that we had in 2020 in Justin Jefferson's rookie year with Kirk Cousins playing quarterback. I think J.J. McCarthy is a better quarterback with more ability and skills than what Kirk Cousins is, right? I think Jordan Addison will hit his first 1,000-yard season. And I think for us to break that record, Jordan Addison has to hit his first 1,000 yards this year. Last year, we missed it by 60 yards. Jordan Addison missed his 1,000 yards by 60 yards, right? And I think that's how we're going to break the yardage total. Now, the points total, we averaged 34 points in 98. And in 2020, we averaged 26.5. So do I think points get close? No, but I don't think the points will get close because our defense is better this year, right? I think we're going to see a lot of our games to where we are outscoring opponents by 2 scores, 10-plus points or more this year, right? But we aren't scoring that 30s or those 40-type point games. But the offense will definitely be better than the 1998 season. It's just going to be in a different kind of way. I do think we do surpass the total yards we did in 98, though.
All right, I gotta jump in here because 2020, you say we beat the 98 in yards, so you say, okay, we're gonna do that this year, but that resulted in not making the playoffs. So, like, where you kind of lose me a little bit here is you're saying that we're not gonna beat them in 98 in points.
Well, that's
where game won, though.
The defense. That's the key cognitive in this whole thing. Right? I think we outscore in offensive yards. We're going to do that this year, but we have a way better defense than what we did in 2020.
Do we have a way better defense than we had in 98?
Yeah, yes. I don't know that if we have just having more yards than we had in 98 makes it better than 98.
98 was like the 2024 Lions.
98 they could score at will, like, and that's more important. Like we talk about, like they could have a lot of yards because, like, in 2020 we were playing from behind a lot and having to throw the ball and air it out and getting a lot of yards, but not scoring and winning.
1998.
So I'm not going to say that the 2020 offense was better than the 98 offense, but they had more yards.
But look at the Lions. Crushed the 98 offense, our 98 offense. The 2024 Lions crushed our 98 offense, right? They didn't have a defense. I don't think the 98 team had a really good defense like we have a defense this year.
Right, but this is about saying that the offense will be better than the 98 offense. So really it doesn't have to do with the defense.
I don't know that we have a better defense than 98.
Oh, I
don't know either, but I don't even think defense is part of this equation. The call it is that the offense will be better than the 98 offense.
Yes, it'll be in a different way, though. We're not slinging 9 routes all day to Randy Moss, where he gets 3 receptions for 185 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's going to be in a different way. We're going to see
more of a game management way.
There we go. More sustaining drives. Something we've been missing for quite a long time. We can hit home run shots all day, score really fast, get up out in their points. I think we're going to win by 10 plus or more points in games instead of winning by 7 plus points like we did in 98 and then have those blowout games where we had it. But a lot of those games in 98, we were scoring a lot of points, but we were still only winning by 7 or 3 points in those games.
Okay, so Cody, we went 15-1 in 98.
Yes, scored 34
points. So just so we're clear, you're measuring it just based on yards, or
I'm measuring the offense is going to. It's so at the when you see the fucking final total score of a game, it's going to say 10 plus points or more, we win.
Okay, so we did a lot of that in 98 too. Are you saying our record is going to be close to 15-1?
No. Let's look up the 1998 Vikings margin of victory by points.
It was pretty insane. I mean, we set the league record
Yeah, I know.
and a lot of shit.
And that yards record got crushed.
I think we blew out.
Bro, we outscored by like 300 points the opponents.
That's 20
There's
points
only like
a game.
there's only like 3 games where it wasn't a double-digit win.
That's 20 points.
Yeah, man. I don't know. For me to say that this offense was better than 98, I'm gonna have to see at least 30 points a game.
The NFL has changed. That's all I'm saying.
Right. So they had 34 points. What's up, Tanya? Glad you can make it.
Who the hell is Tanya?
Shaq, you're not in that other Let's Skol group chat.
Yeah, she's pretty active in the.
Oh, wait, you are actually.
Yes, you are. You just don't pay attention.
I'll be busy.
Tanya's got the kids to bed and all that. She's got some me time, and so she joined us, and we appreciate
it. I'm just asking a simple question.
So what's up, Shaq? Do you think we can end up having a better offense this year than we had in 1998?
Yes, because I don't remember us having a good run game in 98. I think it was just straight pass the ball to whether it be Chris Carter, Randy Moss.
I mean, we rushed for almost 2,000 yards.
We did?
Yeah, Robert Smith was still a beast.
And they were a horde.
Well, to be fair, I was 4 years old, so, you know.
So that's why you don't remember us having a good run.
That's what I'm saying. But it's possible. It's just like, if we're going by points, I feel like we're going to keep the points more contained, but if we're going by yardage, actually, I'm going to switch it. I feel like we could score more points, but the yardage won't be the same.
That means our defense would suck, right? In a way.
No, because our defense keeps giving the offense the ball to score points.
I feel like, yeah, we just always have short yardage. So, like, we don't have to go far to score.
I'm going to say no, just based on the fact of looking at our schedule and who we're playing. It's going to be a little bit tighter. We're going to have some real nail biters. We're going to have some heartbreakers. I don't think we're going to be able to pull away from a lot of these teams like that. I wish we could. I think it's going to be more one score wins. Do we come close on the yards? Nah. No, I'm sorry. Because we're not going to be able to just launch it to Randy Moss. We're going to have some sustained drives, and there's going to be some 5-7 play drives where we'll flip the field and let our defense work. But I just don't think we're coming anywhere near that 98 offense.
2020 to 25, we've been off on 98's yardage total by at most, I think it was 64 yards. And the only year we broke it was 2020.
So when they added an extra game?
Yeah.
That's an extra 400 yards?
NFL's changed, boys.
That's why
the yards won't matter. The points per game is more important than the yards to me. If we're going to say that it's better than 98, so if they're not scoring at least 30 points a game, the offense isn't better.
But do we need
to?
But do we need to with the defense?
That's not the premise. The premise is that the offense is going to be better.
The offense is going to look better. More long sustaining drives.
I don't know what look better is.
Yeah, long sustaining drives. What? Because we scored touchdowns so fast that they sucked.
Well, I'm not looking at like 2017 Case Keenum where we score right away in the first quarter and then get blown out by fucking 28 points either. So I like what I'm looking at is no more lulls. We're not going to have
that didn't happen during the season. That only happened in one game.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the lulls,
and that had nothing to do with this premise. Let's stay on topic here, Mr. Bowden.
I am staying on topic. The offense is going to look better than the 1998 season because we won't have any lulls in the offense. How about that? Is that a good one too?
What Lulz did we have in '98, bro?
So if we go a quarter without a touchdown,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think I've agreed with you on every code he calls it, but this one, I'm not.
The
I'm
only
selling.
problem with that is I don't trust unless KOC takes the next step in his play calling. I feel like we're always gonna have laws.
he needs to take more than one step, Shaq. That man needs to start
He
running.
needs to take a 2-step.
We need 5 steps. We ain't making the playoffs this year.
All right. Let's go around the gal horn. What do you got, Michael Fish?
In the regular season, J.J. McCarthy's first completed pass will be caught by blank. Who you got, Keith?
TJ Hawkinson.
And if you don't mind, can you make a poll about this afterwards? That way we can have the people that are still
TJ Hawkinson.
TJ Hawkinson. Who you got, Cody?
What was your question?
In the regular season, the first official pass to be that will be received thrown by J.J. McCarthy will be received by blank.
It'll be a 72-yard touchdown, like Matt Ryan threw to whatever in his rookie year, right, to Justin fucking Jefferson, right off the rip. First pass, touchdown, JJ, 72 yards.
So we got TJ Hawkinson.
Got like an 8-yard pass to Hawkinson.
Who you got, Shaq?
Well, I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna say Aaron Jones.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm only saying JJ on a touchdown pass because KOC is going to tell him, hey, first pass of the year, just let it rip. Throw that thing down. If it gets picked off, it gets picked off. But you know what? Throw that thing. Let's see what happens.
Wait, did Brian Branch go to the Bears?
No.
Oh, so that's not even an option. Okay.
Oh, he's saying JJ ain't going to complete a pass till what, week 5? Is that when we're playing them, or is it later?
See,
no,
yes,
later,
we are
like
the most delusional.
7 or 8.
We are the most delusional fan base in the NFL because we don't know anything.
Well, not everyone. There's a few scattered in there. What about you, Fish? Who do you got for your own?
Josh Oliver. So we've got TJ Hawkinson, Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones, and Josh Oliver.
No Jordan Addison.
Well, he's not going to be playing, bro.
He's probably going to be suspended.
So I got the poll up.
So everybody who's watching in the chat, you can go ahead and take the poll on our answers and let us know who you think he's more likely to throw a completed pass to.
Aaron Jones.
It's a barn burner right now.
Mm-hmm. What was the first pass Sam Darnold threw?
Was it the tip pass?
I don't know. There's just so many.
Was it just a sling it? Like, hey, just sling it and see what happens?
I thought it was the tip pass interception.
Yeah.
No.
Let's see what happens.
That was his first ever pass, Shaq. With the Jets. His first throw was a tip pass interception.
Oh. I thought it was against the Giants where he threw the ball and he threw a tip pass interception. And I thought we was about to lose against the Giants.
It might have been.
I thought the first turnover was the Ham fumble.
Well, not turnover, first pass.
Well, that was a pass, I think.
Oh, yeah, it might have been.
I mean, you might be right, bro, but I don't remember it that way.
Fuck it.
I just remember us just crushing the Giants and Van Ginkel.
Yeah, that's the only thing I remember.
Van Ginkel with his pick 6, and I was just like, huh. So he's got that kind of game, huh?
So we only got 4 votes in, and it's rock and roll. You got to hit the button on the poll. Help me out here.
I won the
before I announce the winner. Can I just count it? Hey, I'd be down. I don't think Ty Felton will be on the field though.
Ty Felton be playing for the Raiders. What?
What?
Sorry.
Oh, bro. I just don't think he's going to be on the field for the first drive of the season. Well, actually, if Addison's out, he could be.
Yeah, he could be.
He could be.
Where's the other option?
There's no other option. So we got 5 votes, 2 for Hawkinson, 2 for Jefferson, 1 for Jones, none for Oliver.
Y'all suck.
I'll keep it up. You got a question for us, Shaq?
Yeah. Who do you guys think will lead this defense in turnovers?
Are we including forced fumbles?
Yes. I'm gonna go Cody, Fish, and Keith.
So a forced fumble counts as a turnover?
What? So the problem with forced fumbles is don't we have to recover it?
Right, and then doesn't the person who recovers it get credit for the turnover?
Yeah, the person that recovers it gets credit for it.
So I'm gonna make it simpler. I'm gonna take fumbles out of it because fumbles can go either way.
Interceptions, okay.
Interceptions.
I'm gonna steal Keith's right off the rip, bro.
Well, then that's mine too, because I already got this hot take.
Yeah. It's gonna be. I think so. Isaiah Rod. I'm going Isaiah Rodgers just because he reminds me so much of Deron Bland from the Cowboys and a lot of Trevon Diggs. Right. I think he's going to get a lot of ball skill interceptions. I do think he's going to give up a lot of yards though. But I have him eerily close to what Deron Bland and what Trevon Diggs did for the Cowboys is where he's going to get a boatload of interceptions, but still going to give up a lot of yards. And I have him and Byron Murphy did it last year, give a lot of yards, 6 interceptions. I think Isaiah Rodgers will have at least 8 interceptions this year for our Minnesota Vikings.
Damn.
Ball skills are there, man. Ball skills are there.
Damn. All right, Fish.
I don't see it.
I know you don't.
You don't
I
see
don't
Who
see
you
it.
got?
I
So
don't
who do you
it.
see?
I think it's going to be Cashman.
I thought you were gonna say Dallas Turner at safety.
I like Blake Cashman.
I think it's going to be Cashman. I think he's going to play mostly healthy season this year, and he's going to be the one to lead us in pickoffs. People trying to throw it quick over the middle.
If that happens, I think that's a bad sign because what's the most he's gonna get? 3?
No. My point is that the pass rush is going to be better. So in order to compensate for that, the offenses are going to have to try to get quick releases over the middle, slant passes, things like that, and that's in his wheelhouse for routes for him to jump. When they try to go quick release, that's for him to try to jump the route in the middle and take the ball.
So are you saying you could see him getting 6 interceptions?
Yes.
Ooh, that's a hot take. I like Cashman a lot, but I'm not seeing him lead this team in interceptions. And if he does, I don't think it's 6. I think it's more like 3, and that's troublesome. But I respect it. And, of course, mine is Isaiah Rodgers. But where I disagree with Cody, I don't think he's getting 8. I think it's going to be more like 6 or 7. I think he will have the most passes defended as well. I think he's going to break up a lot of passes. When's the last Viking to get 8 at cornerback? Did Rhodes ever have 8? I don't think he did. I mean, we had Anthony Harris get 9 or so, but that's the safety. I don't know the last time we had a cornerback get 8 interceptions.
Let's look at that.
Especially now, I feel like cornerbacks get less interceptions than they used to. It's like you see these great cornerbacks, and you see, man, they have 4 interceptions.
Because usually, if you're a great cornerback, you don't get thrown to.
Whoa, Audrey McMillan in 1992.
He's the last one.
The last one for 8 interceptions.
Yeah, that's one of the first cornerbacks I remember.
Holy smokes. I love history, bro.
Man, I
That's
get
why-
maybe it's a product of playing more zone. I don't know.
First team All Pro
Maybe.
also.
I just feel like the interceptions, I guess, more go to safeties now.
Yeah. Harrison Smith.
Kudos.
Who you got, Shaq?
For me, I'm gonna go with Byron Murphy. We paid him the money. He's probably gonna be lining up in the slot and on the outside. And I think he's actually gonna prove why we paid him that money. I might even make a hot take for the sake of it.
Ooh.
On Byron Murphy.
It's Byron Murphy. All right. So we got Murphy, Rogers, and Cashman. It's diverse. It's diverse enough. All right. I'm going to go ahead and give mine in 98, 2000, 2009, 2017. The Vikings went to the NFC Championship. They lost all 4 times.
They did.
Of those 4, which one do you think they would have had the best chance to win the Super Bowl if they had won the NFC Championship? Michael Fish.
17. Number
Why is
one
that?
ranked defense. Number one ranked defense. I think we would have matched up well. I think we had that. We just had such an emotional letdown in the NFC Championship game. But I think we would have matched up well. I think we would have shut down the Patriots. And, 17.
All right. Cody?
I would say 98 because I don't think Case Keenum could live up to what Bill Belichick's defense. Bill Belichick would have figured out Case Keenum quicker than what the Eagles figured out Case Keenum after that first touchdown drive. I think Belichick would have figured him out on that first pass that Keenum threw.
Couldn't figure out Nick Foles, huh?
Nick Foles, the RPO was a new thing. We didn't have RPO. We didn't have the RPO, so Belichick couldn't figure it out because it's brand new. Like he couldn't figure out the Wildcat offense. Like it's brand new. I would say 98 because I think the offense was so explosive with the points per game. I think it was a fucking fluke that we lost the game to the Falcons. We should have scored more points. The field goal that went wide left, was it, from Gary Anderson? I think it was just meant for a doomed disaster for Minnesota. You haven't missed a field goal in 2 straight years. They were talking about it. Commentators were talking about it the whole game. And then he does it, and it's like, okay, we're the team that is meant to lose, I feel like. And there's always a story somewhere for someone else. But 98 was the year. I think we'd have dominated John Elway and those Broncos. I don't think they could keep up in the points scored in that.
Do you think we would have beaten them without John Randall and Ed McDaniel?
Yes, I think we would have. I think we would have scored so many points that it'd be a high-scoring game. In my opinion, I just think we'd score more points.
Where are you going, Shaq?
I'm going with 2009 because that team was low-key complete. Mm-hmm. We had the receivers. We had Adrian Peterson in his prime. And we had the defense to, get pressures when they needed to. The only problem with that team was the turnovers, which constantly came at the worst times. I don't know if Brett Favre would have been healthy enough to play against Peyton Manning, but if we take away the bounty gate and that 2009 team, I'm pretty sure we could have matched up well against the Colts and probably even took it.
I agree that the bounty gate would have had a toll on him, but they got 2 weeks. There ain't no doubt in my mind that Brett Favre would have been out there.
He'd have reached into that medicine cabinet. He'd have reached into that medicine
got something,
cabinet.
Maybe got a massage too. There's no doubt that he would have been out there. For me, you guys are missing it. It's easily 2000 when they had to play Baltimore and Trent Dilfer. You don't think we're gonna go in there and stomp on Trent Dilfer and beat the fucking Ravens?
Yeah, them Ravens.
They had that.
I am kidding. Like Cody's like really thinking about it. Nah, that defense would have stomped us out.
I wish we didn't. I wish we didn't lose a playbook.
Yeah.
And what was his name? Jamal Anderson running behind Jonathan Ogden. They'd have trucked
Jamal
us.
Lewis.
Jamal Lewis. There we go.
Yeah, no, that was totally a joke. We shouldn't have even been in the NFC Championship. For me, it's 2009, and I know a lot of people like to say 98. I was glad to see in the chat a lot of people were saying 2009 because I disagree with Cody. I think that Broncos team would have given us fits. I mean, that was a team full of Hall of Famers. We would have been injured going into that game, and not only that, yes, we had a great 15-1 season, but they were freaking 14-2. They were a great team themselves. You know, they had John Elway, who was, you know, still kind of in his prime. Just they had good offense, good defense. I don't think we win that. I think we smashed the Colts in 09. Like, absolutely. I think Favre in the Super Bowl, I think it would have been like the Dallas playoff game. Like, I think he would have been throwing touchdowns, running around, celebrating. Like, no doubt in my mind, we beat the Colts. The Broncos, I'm not so sure we beat them in 98. 2017 against the Patriots, probably don't pull that one off. You know, I think we put out a better showing than what we did against the Eagles, but probably don't pull it off. For me, I think our best shot would have been 2009.
I think the NFL messed up in 98, realizing how exciting football can be to watch with the amount of offenses going. And they realized they messed up in 98, and they were like, well, 99, when the Los Angeles Rams broke our record, the greatest show on turf. Like, and they end up winning the Super Bowl. Like, it's all about viewership.
So I got to ask this question: is there anybody in the chat who's old enough to remember '87 and included in this conversation? Shaq, you
weren't even born yet.
I was in the Cosmos. I'm being ready.
But there's a lot of people that,
and you know what? This is actually becoming a fishism. Because every time we bring up these 4 championships, Fish like, why does 87 always forget? Well, man, I'm the closest one to age, Fish, and I was 5 years old.
I know that.
But there's a lot of Vikings fans that know history.
I mean,
we talked about Matt Blair.
Right. But when I'm talking about which Super Bowl would you win, I think you have a better grasp on it if you actually watch the season and watch the playoff games than you do of, I watched highlights of that game and I know the story.
No, not highlights. Looking at the stats of the season that happened that year, or who is the
Well, that wouldn't tell you anything because the Vikings weren't great. So that wouldn't have told you anything. But watching them is different.
Wasn't Matt Blair a first team or second team All-Pro that year? Was Tommy Kramer leading the league in
passing? In 87, we were great except
in 87?
In 87, we were great except for our 3 scab games where our replacement players couldn't win one.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the biggest reason why we weren't the 1 or 2 seed. That's why everybody thinks that 87 win against the 49ers was such a big upset, is because we weren't seeded as high as we should have. You want to talk about a defense. 87, we had a damn defense, man.
Who was a rookie?
Who was that Super Bowl against?
In 87?
Yeah.
Let's see. Redskins beat
Doug Williams Super Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah, I know that, but who they beat?
Was it Buffalo?
No.
Miami.
Let's see.
I think it might have been Miami.
Broncos.
Yeah.
I wanted to say Broncos for some reason. I didn't think it was them.
John.
No. Hold on. That was the 86 Super Bowl.
Okay.
Hold on. That's the Giants beating the Broncos. Hold on. Man.
Steve said Redskins beat the Broncos.
Yeah, it was the Broncos.
Yep.
John Elway.
Wasn't that before John Elway or no?
No, John Elway was drafted in 84.
John Elway played for it. Yeah, he was part of that 84 draft. He played for 14, 15 years?
Yeah, he played for a while. He was drafted in that famous 84 draft.
And I don't know nothing about that Broncos team, so can't tell you if we would have beat them or not. Wasn't that a low-scoring Super Bowl?
Mm-mm.
No, that was
Or
like
it was-
yeah.
It was like 30.
Touchdown.
Oh
That
no,
game-
our game against the Redskins was low-scoring. That
Yeah.
NFC Championship game, that was a low-scoring game.
Yeah, that was like some sort of a 14-17 game or something like that.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
But yeah, they turned it on against the Broncos.
Yeah, Doug Williams 5 touchdown passes.
Then Bill Romanowski Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Romanowski was on that team?
Almost certain of it, dude. Almost certain.
Yeah. And Steve Atwater.
I don't think so.
I think that's the same year Steve Atwater put Christian Okoye in the ground.
No, that was
No.
Was that earlier?
excuse me, I'm wrong. Bill Romanowski was drafted in 88.
Yeah. So yeah, I think 09. You got a question for us, Cody?
Yeah, I got a good question for. We're gonna go week 1 of this year,
Uh-oh.
right? And it's gonna be detailed around JJ McCarthy. All right. What will it take for that very first game for that other half of the Vikings fans? Just like there was half of the Vikings fans that hated Kirk Cousins, half the Vikings fans that didn't like Sam Darnold. What will it take in that very first game to maneuver all that other half onto the boat of JJ McCarthy? Is it good? Is it just going to be a win? Is it just going to be a shit ton of yards from him? Like, what is it going to take for that half of the fan base that hates JJ McCarthy to finally hop on the bandwagon or the boat and be like, okay, JJ McCarthy is our quarterback?
What will it take, Robbie? I'll jump on it. I just think a lead,
lead?
and like he didn't throw a lead, and he didn't throw any interceptions. But you said the first half, right? I mean, it's
No. The whole game. Like, what's it? You look at the Vikings fan base. It's always half is one-sided on a quarterback all the time. Like, there's 50% that hated Kirk Cousins, 50% that loved Kirk Cousins. 50%.
Oh yeah, because it has to be a win on Monday Night Football in Chicago. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
It's gonna. Do you think it's gonna take that much? Yeah.
Yeah.
There is nothing in one game that could make those people start to like him, because the people that don't like him are going to say, hey, it was the Bears. They're going to be in a wait and see mode. And there will be, of the 50%, the ones that don't like him, 80% of them are going to be waiting for them to, just waiting to pounce. See, it could be week 10, we could be 9-0. And all of a sudden he has a bad game, and they're going to be like, yeah, see, there it is. There it is. Should have kept Darnold, or something to that effect.
Those are the true fans.
But
yeah, it's crazy. What one game's not enough, but no games is enough to say that it was a bad pick. That's
get
crazy.
those people to change, it will take a Super Bowl, Cody.
Yeah. That sucks. That sucks for us. I get it, it's the most important position in football, but that sucks as a fan base not rooting for your quarterback. Like the most important position on the field. If the quarterback fails, the team is going to fail.
I mean, I already think some people are changing. Dylan was a big JJ McCarthy hater, and he's out there spending hundreds of dollars on his autograph cards now. So,
yeah.
I mean, they're converting. Emiliano wasn't big on him, but Emiliano, I think he'd wear a JJ McCarthy jersey right now. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think most people are already swaying to where I really don't think he has to do that much. Like, he's never going to have 100%. So there's always going to be those oddballs that don't want him to succeed. And even if he does, they're going to make excuses for it. Like, those people are just going to exist.
Yeah.
Shaq, how's he going to turn around the Robbies? I mean, the negative fans.
So a more immediate answer, which I'm pretty sure a lot of fans would be happy with. I feel like he needs to have at least 300 passing yards, 3 to 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he needs to be named Player of the Week for Week 1, just to get the fire started.
Just a dominant Jaden Daniels type of game, right? That Week 1 game. Like, oh, who's this kid? Just dominant.
to put a finer point on it, Keith, how would he turn around the Robbies? Well, if he had one more year of eligibility, he would have to return to college, play for an SEC team, throw for over 4,000 yards, and win a national championship based squarely on his performance alone, and then get redrafted by the Vikings.
That's true. That's true. So that's why I'm saying you're not gonna be able to please everybody because that's just not possible.
Spencer Rattler didn't do that.
I'm gonna say this right now. The point that we're 100% of Vikings fans are on board with the starting quarterback, that'll be the year we win a Super Bowl.
The 0 for 0, 0 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks for 2024. Anyone that isn't neutral is silly. I'm going to guarantee you everything that I have, which is not a lot. I don't have a lot, but I will guarantee it all that Robbie was not neutral on Jaden Daniels going into week 1 of last year, even though it was 0, 0, 0, 0. What's up, Steve? What do you want to come on here and harass us about?
No, I ain't going to harass you. I'm going to tell you what it will take for McCarthy to prove to the Viking fans. This is a big game. This is a division game against the Bears, which there's a lot of upside, with coming in. If McCarthy would come out with pure game management, if he knows what to do, most of these quarterbacks, they get the calls, whatever. But if McCarthy can show, like most quarterbacks do out there, like I said, he doesn't throw the ball to JJ all the time or whatever. He can manage the field. If he can manage that field, knows what he's doing and everything else, I think that will prove to the Viking fans he knows what he's doing. That would give the Viking fans upside, like, okay, you know what, win or lose. If Vikings fans really believe in their quarterback, if McCarthy goes out on that field and he shows pure progression, and he can, control the game, whatever, I think that will open up the eyes of Vikings. They say, you know what? Okay, we found our quarterback. This is a division game. Each division games are big, no matter what. It's not like against another comp or whatever. This is the Bears, or if it was the Packers or the Lions. If McCarthy could go out there, and this is also, then think about this too. Isn't this game in Chicago?
Yep.
That's going to be key. That's going to be big. If he could go out there and show pure management, okay, and think and then, okay, got this, and can control the ball down the field. They do this in training camp practice, the 2-minute warnings, all these other progression. If he can do that, this is what I'm trying to say. I'm never going to knock McCarthy. I'm not going to knock the guy. He hasn't proven himself yet. But I think, because I played quarterback through my years, and like I said, I'm a big quarterback person too. I think if McCarthy can come on that field in Chicago against a divisional team like that, it's pure progression, that he can manage the field no matter the calls and make the right play, whatever. I think, Cody, you come up with a good concept here with this. I think it's going to open up the eyes of Viking fans. And you know what? I think we found our quarterback.
Yeah.
Easy.
I agree. He's going to have a dominant performance in Chicago.
Yes.
It's on Monday Night Football in front of the whole world.
Exactly. And you said it right there. Monday night. I don't know if they'll have a 2-game night that Monday or not. I don't know. But for this to be in the division game, and for the fact it's McCarthy's first game starting in a regular season, the camera's going to be on him. For the fact of what he did in Michigan, won a national championship and everything, and what happened to him last year and whatever, the spotlight's on him. Bam. And if he can go out there and show he knows what he's doing and whatever and stuff, and he can get his team behind him and become the leader, that is progress what each quarterback does on that team. I'm telling you, that right there, all you guys' eyes will be like, hey, guys, let's go get his rookie cards. Hey, guys, let's go get this. Yes, I'm shocked I have not seen on your show. I like your guys' show. This is fun to come on here. Not one of you guys have a McCarthy jersey yet.
I have.
Whoa, yeah.
I'm the only one.
I got one. What are you talking about? Only one.
Yeah, you just got one. I've had one since last year.
Oh, okay.
Because your wife bought you yours for your anniversary last year. Mine got mine this year.
Yeah.
Wait,
like I said,
yeah.
I got a bunch of. I'll say this right now.
I've already worn mine in a TikTok, bro.
I have a bunch of McCarthy rookie cards. I do, and Justin Jefferson, because I'm a big time card collector.
Oh,
And
you
so,
are? Well, come talk to me. I got some bangers here. I got a precious metal gems of Chris Carter.
okay.
The reason why I don't have a JJ McCarthy jersey is because that's like saying I love you to a girl you never met.
I can respect that.
I'm sorry, but it's like I need him to show. I'm not agreeing with Robbie, but I need him to show that he's that quarterback for me to go spend money. Any player I bought a jersey of, they showed me something.
Because I'm gonna let you know, I'm gonna watch that game definitely. The thing is, here's the key. How much does JJ McCarthy want this? What's his heart? Where's his heart at?
I don't think there's any question of that. I don't think anybody. I don't even think Robbie questions that.
Right. But
I think the better question is, how's he going to react when he gets hit?
I mean, even though if it's a loss,
Whoa.
if just say I'm not saying it's going. If it was a close game and they lost, I think a real true Vikings fan, like I am with the Packers and Love, if you see the progression that even though they lose, and he can keep it going, then there's where you know you got a quarterback. You ain't going to win it because it takes more than one player to win a game. You can't blame it all on the quarterback or this guy. You know, like everybody like last year was blaming Love. But, you know, was it Love's fault that Reed and Wicks and guys were dropping the ball? No. You can't blame Love on that. And so forth. So that's what I'm saying. I'm never going to down McCarthy. Only thing I'm going to say is he hasn't played it down yet. He has to prove himself. Do I think he could do it? Of course. Like you never know. He might have a stellar, season this year. He could do 5,000 yards. He can do 30, 40, 50. Who knows? I mean, with the receivers, with Justin Jefferson, and I don't know what's going on with Addison. You guys do or whatever, but you never know. Not like I said. I don't know which one of you said. I think it was you, Cody. I'm still a big believer of Rondell Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Big believer of him.
Because
I don't know if you guys do, but I watch a lot of college football over my years. And when that boy was at Purdue.
Yeah, he's at Purdue, right?
Yeah. And that game he had against Ohio State, I was like, wow. And when I saw that he went to Minnesota, I was like, son of a bitch. Because I think he's a playmaker. He's
a weapon. He's a weapon for sure. But I mean, I don't think he's like a 1,000-yard receiver or anything like that. Like he's a weapon.
Right. He don't have to be a 1,000-yard receiver. But like I said,
I think he can be just a one play wins a game.
Right.
Type of, there he is.
Kelly Campbell.
Like he ain't got to be a Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase or guys like that. But if they need that key first down, if it's like 3rd and 7, 3rd and 9, whatever, you get that first down, boom. You go across the middle like a Hines Ward, like a St. Brown. That's all you need, and give them more plays. But see, I
was thinking more like the game's tight and he catches a 30-yard touchdown.
Could happen.
And then you don't hear from him for another 4 games.
Well, I mean, stuff like that happens in the NFL. But like I said, I really think with McCarthy, depending on how much he wants it, and he's a player, if he could go out there and progress the game, whatever, I think all you guys' eyes will be like, hey, next time I think I end the CM coming show, each one of you guys will have a McCarthy shirt on, jersey. And whatever. That's what I believe. See, I go to follow believe in players, not really what they did in college, because this isn't college anymore. This is professional football. This is the NFL. It's faster and whatever, and and I'm sure it was said that KOC is the type of guy, he does well, teaching the quarterbacks how to play. He does a good job with them from what I hear. And so
he does.
So it's main to be seen. I mean, like I said, I love my Packers. And I can't wait for the Packer-Viking games matchup, whatever. And so forth. But I don't go knocking the guy just yet. No. Because I'm not going to do that. And the next year he comes out those 5,000 yards, 56 touchdowns, and whatever. Like, man, boy, do I look stupid. No, I ain't going to do that. You have no idea what, like I said, what McCarthy's going to do. Could he be that guy? Because now, see, was it you guys? Where did I see that at? Someone put up a picture of it was a half face. It was McCarthy and Brady.
All right, buddy. Steve, we're getting ready to move on. So give us a hot take before we send you off. Okay.
All right. Hot take is I believe that Christian Watson is going to come back stronger, like as from last season, stronger, better than ever.
Quantify it.
That wouldn't take much.
As in how many yards and stuff?
Yeah.
Shit.
Well,
He played more than 8 games.
Well, I can't say it because I don't know when he's going to be back. See, I don't know when he's going to be back, so that's kind of hard to modify that. But I would say 9, 10 touchdowns.
Give us an average. Like if he plays, how many yards or touchdowns will he average per game? So that way, depending on how many games he plays, it can still relate.
Well, he just said 9, 10 touchdowns. 9
to 10 touchdowns this season, 70 yards or more a game.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
All right. Thank you, Steve.
Hey, well, thank you guys for having me.
Have a good night.
You too.
All right. It's almost time for us to get out of here. But before we do that, let's go ahead and give our hot takes. Who's ready? It's always the same too. It's always the same too. Ready. Okay, go ahead, Shaq.
McCarthy. Oh, my bad.
Cody, you go.
Okay, I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna tie this in with my Gallahorn question. I think JJ McCarthy hot take will be that he will outduel Caleb Williams week 1. It's gonna be a really awesome game to watch in week 1. I think the NFL made it a Monday night game for a reason. And I think JJ McCarthy will outduel Caleb Williams, all right, in yards and touchdowns. Vikings win that week 1 game. And it could be considered as the best game of the season, starting off with week 1.
You did too much there. The hot take just he's going to outduel him and Vikings are going to win, right? Not that it's going to be best game of the season.
JJ McCarthy will outdo Caleb Williams, and that will determine that's why JJ McCarthy should have been selected number 1 overall over Caleb Williams.
He's like, and the Vikings, this will be the best game of the season.
I mean,
and KOC will call the best plays that he's ever called, and Will Riker will probably hit a 50-yard field goal, and Jordan Mason's going to go for 2.
I just wanted to answer my own Gallahorn question, but I didn't even get to that point. But JJ McCarthy will outduel Caleb Williams in week 1 Monday Night Football. Hot take. There we go.
All right. Go ahead, Shaq.
So going back to what I said earlier about Byron Murphy, I feel like he's going to prove that he deserved the contract, and he will lead not only the Minnesota Vikings, but he will lead the NFL in interceptions.
Oof. Didn't he lead him this year too?
No, I think he was like 3rd or tied for 3rd or some shit.
Thought he led. But damn, that'd be hot.
He got me down myself. Did he lead?
Oh no, you're right. It was Kirby Joseph, the kneecap guy.
Yeah, so I think he's gonna lead.
Okay. Damn, so if he's gonna lead the NFL and Isaiah Rodgers is gonna have 8, this defense is gonna be stacked.
I should say for cornerbacks.
Okay. Too late. All right, Michael Fish, what do you got?
I'm going to stick to it. Zamiah Vaughn is going to beat Jeff Okudah out for a 53-man roster spot.
Oof.
I can see it.
It's pretty hot.
I can see it, though. It's hot, but I can see it. A UDFA comes in and beats out a former number 3 overall pick.
That's hot.
If that happens,
that's it for Okuda, right? Like there's just no coming back from that. Like you've had 4 chances and now you just got beat out by UDFA.
Now you're selling insurance.
Go play with the UFL after that point.
if that happens, I might buy a Cam Rising jersey.
He's not here right now, bro. You don't got to do it. All right. My hot take is that the Minnesota Vikings will have the most Pro Bowlers in the NFC. And that's voted in, not the alternates to end up making it.
How many wins does that need to be?
How many wins does that need to be?
Yeah,
doesn't need to be any.
Who had the most
all out?
Who had the most last year? Who had the most last year?
Pro Bowlers?
Yeah. Was it Eagles?
Eagles,
Lions?
It's usually
maybe
teams like the cat. I think it could have probably been like.
I'm gonna have to use Fish's what after that though.
It might have been the Cowboys. Even though they didn't win a lot, but it's always the same teams that have the most.
Yeah, we had 6 this year. I was gonna say that we're gonna have 7, but I just went all in and said that we're gonna have the most in the whole NFC.
Yeah, the Lions last year were second behind the Ravens with 7. We had 6. Wins is a big thing. You win 15 games, 14 games.
If you have like more than 6 Pro Bowlers, then you probably won a lot of games.
Yeah,
because you had good players. All right, Shaq. Final words.
Final words. Thanks for everybody joining us tonight. We know it's going to be a long off season, but we're getting through it week by week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Also on Facebook. And if you're feeling real generous, you can always send donations to the Cash App at Let's Skol, or you go to Buy Me Coffee, Let's Skol, and send donations. Or if you're on YouTube, you can just click the little $ button and type in or click a certain amount of money you like to donate and type a little message, and we will read it out loud to the audience and probably answer your questions. It don't have to be a question, but it can be a question. And that's all I have.
Nice. Michael Fish.
Sorry for the short show, folks. You know, in these times, it's tough to come up with content, topics that we can talk about and debate. You know, I know you're used to us going a little later at night, but, you know, we're just trying to keep it entertaining.
I have to work tomorrow.
Information.
I have to work tomorrow. Sorry.
But for Vikings fans, by Vikings fans, we can kind of see it. Like the sun is just starting to peek up over the horizon. We're just about to July, and preseason starts in August. We're just about to be able to start seeing some football coming our way. And next thing you know, it's going to be the regular season, and we're going to be all kinds of frustrated and shouting and cheering and all that, and regretting all the wishes that we had right now that we'd give up anything for. But July is birthday month for Shaq and myself, so we're going to be celebrating those two later on. And that's everything I got. Let's go.
Let's go. Cody.
Hey, yeah, like Fish was saying, preseason's around the corner. I don't care who you are. You're going to watch the preseason games no matter what, just because of the drought of football and the amount of content that's not there. You may be one of those people that are out there saying, I don't watch preseason football. It's just a bunch of dudes that aren't going to make the team. You watch it. You watch it because it's football, right? Other than that, hey, Thursday, Friday's start of the weekend. Don't be going out there and Jordan Addison yourself on a fucking turnpike to the airport. Be safe. Have a plan, right? If you're going to do some wild shit, just make sure you're either good or you're good at it. Other than that, let's go.
And then I just want to say happy anniversary to my wife. We just celebrated 14 years of marriage yesterday. I also thank you. I also want to say I love you to my daughters, Kylie, Adelie, and Haley. Just want to give them a shout out. But yeah, that's our show. We'll be here every week, like Fish tells you, and we'll see you guys next Thursday. Till then, let's Skol.
Let's
Let's
go.
go, baby.
Happy anniversary to my wife tomorrow.